Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Hey.
Brandon Jones.
Hi, how are you?
And on the switcher, Ian Hink.
Hi.
Let us play Recruit Me. This was a hard week of Recruit Me. So, if you don't know, Recruit Me is our patrons of patreon.com/easyallies. Anybody $5 and up. I do love and respect and Recruit Me in one pile, one post. Please give us your submissions. Recruit Me, way more popular than Love and Respect. I get a lot more submissions for this.
This is my favorite podcast opening.
Yeah,
thing.
and we only get one a week. We only get to put one in the podcast a week. It hurts. It hurts really bad. I'll just say I go, if I'm stuck between two things, I go with the shorter one. So,
All right.
this is from Alex Custance. I am a lizard man who is training in space magic.
Ooh, Recruit.
Space magic.
Yeah. I can teleport wherever I like, but only along my current y-axis.
Okay. That's amazing.
I am romanceable, but I'm only attracted to time witches. My name is Leyland the Lizard Man. Would you have me join this party? So good.
Yes.
Only along the y-axis is so kind of just up
Because, yeah, it's like perfect in like
Straight
buildings and stuff. It's like, I can go up. But it's like a flat
We just
battle.
got to get him in, and then he can, get up to where we need him.
Well, actually, it'd be great because like he could like teleport up, get height advantage, and do stuff. But then you're like, oh, I'm gonna fall. No, he just safely teleports right back down.
Oh, I guess that could work.
Yeah, like on a like wide open battlefield.
Yeah, you get
He
a lot
just
of
be like, I
open space.
dodged your attack up here, and you're like, oh, you're gonna fall down.
Yeah,
Good.
not necessarily
Now I'm
instantaneous
like
teleportation.
visualizing you as the character, Damian.
It's a lizard man.
It's changing
Important
my,
to remember this is
changing
a
my
lizard man. Yep.
opinion on it.
Jones, you seem into this too.
Oh, yeah, I'm way down for
Ben,
this.
you're into this?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
This is like a block on social media person.
You do not want Leyland on the team.
Correct.
Is it because Leyland only likes time witches?
Kyle, I have to be honest, I think a lot of it had to do with your read of the character.
It's too short.
I feel like the way that you read it, it was like this person would introduce themselves as I am romanceable.
Yes.
And that just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
You gotta earn that.
Wow.
You gotta work up to that.
Speaking as a time witch, I was pretty excited about it, but I mean, yeah.
You can still sway Ben.
You're still grieving, ma'am.
That's true.
I'm a hard no at this moment, but
Okay.
I'm open to other opinions.
We got to move on. Leyland, you are not recruited onto the team.
Ouch.
We'll see if you survived at the end of the podcast. Please begin corrections. Music. Resident Evil Survivor on PlayStation 1 is a light gun game. There is a light gun for that game, even on PS1.
Oh.
Cool. Cyberpunk 2077.
Did not play
We said like 280 on Twitch, but if you include everybody who is live streaming it, like restreams, like reacting to it live, over 400,000. That's a lot of people watching that. Yeah. We did a Star Fox mistake last week.
Oh.
Celeste is the mountain in Celeste. That's the name of the mountain. The character is Madeline, who's going into Tower Fall.
We made this same mistake on Frame Trap.
Really?
Yes. We
Wow.
made this exact same mistake on Frame Trap.
Yep.
Are you correcting Frame Trap?
No. We made this mistake last week on this podcast.
Wow.
We were like, oh, what's her name? What's her name? Celeste? Yeah, it's Celeste. Yeah, it's not.
Wow. That's
We
very
Metroided
funny.
it. Yeah. Battleline is her alter ego, and she is also going to be in Tower Fall. Fun trivia? Hey, on a light corrections week, I'll take trivia. Octopath Traveler is the first time a JRPG has been #1 on the NPD's all formats chart since Kingdom Hearts 2 in March 2006.
Times are changing, baby.
Times are changing. End corrections music, please. JRPGs officially popular.
I'm playing one tonight.
They used to be popular.
Right after.
What are you playing tonight?
Dragon Quest XI.
Cool. So, it is our first podcast of September, and
I can't believe it.
What? Oh, that Dragon Quest is
Look
here?
at this excitement.
It's a
I
new-
never would have predicted this. This is great.
It's insane to think it's a new Dragon Quest game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's here.
I went to go try and buy it on Steam today, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I typed in Dragon Quest into the search bar for the store, and it didn't bring it up. And I was like, where is it? I was like so disappointed. I was like, it's supposed to come out today, guys. Where is this game? And then I went and told my friends, like, hey, it's not available today. Why was I lied to? And they're like, here's the link, you scrub. And I was like, oh, so happy. But I had an age gate. I was like, why do you gotta make me age gate? I click more buttons just to get to the buy button. I was like so upset.
I don't know.
It was
how to feel
weird, but
about
I was
this.
weird. Like, yeah, this weird. It's not. It wasn't showing up in search.
Dom, man,
Wait.
you're kicking off the podcast with a story about how search didn't work for you.
It was
on
pretty
Steam?
low on
What?
the PlayStation
Who-
Store as
I
well.
was excited
Okay,
too,
all right.
but I
Who
was
are you
excited.
hanging out with?
It's gonna be
That
a
calls you a
long
scrub
night.
for
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
for not showing up in the store. That's
No,
not even your fault.
I self-inserted that word.
Oh, okay.
myself.
All right. I
Yeah.
thought you were
Yeah.
talking with
No.
like friends.
No,
and
no,
were
no.
like,
They
you
were
scrub.
They
and
literally
slide you the link.
They literally were confused. They're like, "Are you spelling it right, dude? Like it's there. Like we have it." I was like,
Dargon Quest.
Don and I went through
Dark.
the same thing recently, where both of us separately searched for Soul Calibur, and we separated Soul and Calibur. Which, if you look online, very common mistake.
Yeah.
Doesn't come up with it. Got to combine the Soul and the Calibur.
That's
Yeah.
a scrub move.
maybe that's
Yeah.
why Dragon Quest 11 didn't show up.
That
'cause
was a scrub move.
I spaced it out.
Yeah, it's one word, Dragon Quest.
Okay.
So, first podcast of September. It is now one of my favorite podcasts to do. We're doing our fall preview, our fall release rundown. We're looking at all of the games that will be released this quarter, and just to make it a little spicy, we have toaster strudels and Pop Tarts. Toaster strudels are, of course, the games we're not too excited about. The games that maybe you should be alerted to that might be a little stinker. Might be some cold frosting on the inside. Pop Tarts, those are the games you're very excited about. You want more people to notice it. You want more people to give it attention. You're
The ones with
positive.
sprinkles.
Sorry?
The games with sprinkles.
The games with sprinkles.
S'mores flavored.
Is that your favorite Pop Tart? S'mores are way good.
Oh yeah, the blueberry and the strawberry.
Okay.
Went
It's
with
just the fact that they make s'mores Pop Tarts and they like the dark chocolate ones. It's like, as a kid, you're just like, gotta have that, but now it's just like,
You
wow,
gotta have that.
no.
They make Pop Tarts without frosting on them?
They do.
Yeah, those are those
That's-
are OG, right?
That's like a sin.
Yeah, we're not talking about that kind of Pop Tart.
That's a sin.
yes.
Those are really good.
Those sound like more appealing to me.
No.
They are actually better tasting.
What are you even
Yes,
doing?
they are.
No, that's not
They're
true.
so good.
That's not true. Before we go do our rundown of each game, there is one additional rule. One person may say the phrase, "Shall we move on?" If one other person says, "Yes, we shall," we move on to the next game without discussing it further, unless, of course, it is somebody's Pop-Tart or toaster strudel.
Ah.
September 7th is the release date of Marvel's Spider-Man, my Pop-Tart. Yes.
You've already played the whole thing.
I played the whole thing.
That's a weak Pop Tart, man.
That's so good. It's the juiciest,
You played it though.
s'moriest Pop-Tart.
What is the last game you played through
It's
entirely
the crumbs that Pop Tart.
Kyle,
before it came out?
You've
Before it
eaten
even-
this Pop Tart and you
Yeah.
have it on your fingers and your face, and it's
all
like
over your
dripping
hoodie,
down
man.
your
Yeah.
shirt.
Can we get you a bib, Kyle? Can we get you a bib?
It's so good.
Is this the first time that someone's Pop Tart they've already platinumed?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a platinum
Yes, a
flavor.
platinum Pop Tart.
Yeah, wait, did you
What is
you
this?
platinum this game before it came out?
Yes.
Have you ever done that before, Kyle?
No.
How do you feel?
Must be nice.
It's a Pop-Tart. That's how I feel. I feel like I want more people to know how good this game is going to be.
Well, if they wouldn't take down our reviews.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
Suck
YouTube.
it, troll company.
Check your policies, YouTube.
YouTube. Come on, YouTube.
Sincerely though, when I think about the rest of the year and what I'm most excited about, I don't think I'll ever reach a high that I was at while I was playing Spider-Man. So yeah, that's my Pop-Tart. That's my 2018
Nice.
Pop-Tart. You know, that's it, man.
It's all downhill.
Yes.
The whole rest of the year.
Kind of how I'm feeling. I mean, there's still like it's downhill, but like kind of plateauing. You know what I mean? Like you're not. There's some like dips up. It'll just never be at that peak again.
Kyle, I'm a little upset that we're starting with September 7th and not September 4th.
Yeah, but I mean, this podcast isn't September 4th for anyone else but us. And we talked about Dragon Quest. We talked about how hard it is to find on Steam.
All right.
What else is there to say?
It's great. I
all
want
you
people to
need
know
to
how
know.
good it is. All right.
Also on September 7th, NBA 2K19 and NBA Live 19 the same day.
That
That
does
is.
it happen on the same day? Did they just not care?
I
Or
think.
does it just have to happen on that day?
I wonder who announced first. I should have checked to see who announced first, but it's clearly to me EA going, we're just as good. We're just as good. Buy us too. Instead.
Yeah, I could see that, Kyle. I apologize. I don't know who the cover athletes are for each edition, but I also think maybe they're putting them out at the same time because they're just people just going out there. I just want a basketball game, and they just see one or the other. Like, yeah, I'll just take that one.
NBA Live is hoping for that. Yeah.
yeah, like NBA,
there's the
EA is
there's-
definitely hoping for
There's
that.
the new one. 2K is a man whose name I can't say. He's from Greece. It's many, many letters. And NBA Live, I have no idea. I have
Okay.
no idea who's on the cover of that game. More, Ian. It's not just there. It is. Keep adding letters, and then do it phonetically for me. No, stop this.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, I know who that is.
That is
Gianaya Antetokounmpo.
Yes.
Gianni.
Wow.
Giannia?
Yeah, that is the cover. That's a cover athlete for 2K
I
this year,
love
which
it.
I think is cool. Yeah.
Kumpo.
On September 12th, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is released.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't.
Yes.
Where do we launch off with this game? You know what I mean? I feel like it's a huge franchise that is an underdog.
Yeah, well, okay. So we got several codes for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I've played it at previews, and I was not... What I played of Rise of the Tomb Raider did not blow me away, and like I liked 2013 Tomb Raider, but didn't love it. From what I have seen of Shadow of the Tomb Raider so far, it's definitely the most invested I've been.
Oh.
And this is coming from somebody who is not like particularly keen on this trilogy of Lara. They, I think, invest you more effectively and emotionally a little bit more quickly than I was expecting. And when they say like, "Hey, we're going to explore her darker side," they mean it in a way that is more than just marketing buzz.
This will do better than the last game, right?
Yes.
Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Sorry, that's just in. Ian, we should look at that. Ian has a video of the cover athlete pronouncing his own name.
All right, let's see. Not vetted.
We have not vetted this.
I thought it was Antetokounmpo.
The Nigerian way, you gotta say with a D, so it's Antetokounmpo. But in the Greek way, you say with an NT, like Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
Ant-
Okay.
oh, cool.
Antetokounmpo. Cool. That's a good last name. Yeah, I feel like it lost a ton of momentum 2 years ago with Rise of the Tomb Raider having its weird Xbox exclusive release, and then a year later on PS4. Which isn't always weird, right? It's not weird to be an exclusive. I just think it was weird in that case. Mid trilogy going exclusive, I guess, is what made that bizarre to me. And I do feel like it hurt the franchise's momentum after this year. Do you see Tomb Raider in a good place, or do you see all of Square Enix's teams working on Marvel games?
Well, the problem when it comes to Square Enix is it's hard to gauge what their expectations are because
They're always so high.
Right. And so like what may be a good place might be so out of whack that it's hard to judge. But I don't know, just visually, it just looks so darn good. I think that is going to surprise a lot of people. How good the tombs look and the way that they use lighting and the detail in those environments. Like it's really pretty impressive. I have to wonder if it'll be a little bit of an underdog where word of mouth will pick up, and after Spider-Man or whatever, people kind of want another adventure to go on.
I wouldn't be surprised because I've been critical of the marketing for this game.
Yeah.
And they like, to me, the marketing's been talking at me, and they haven't kind of let Lara speak for herself.
September 12th, man. This game's coming out soon.
And I played the opening, which we've talked about a ton, where there's this huge flood that comes in, destroys this town, and like that really sets up this, if you know kind of the circumstances of what led her to that point to make this thing happen, that puts her in a really interesting position. And then the last time I played this game, when I went to the demo, they're like, you can skip past that and just get right to this next section. And I'm like, yeah, I've already played that. I want to skip that. And like the first cutscene that opens up, she's in a plane. She says 2 sentences, and I'm already like, I'm way more sold on this story now. She just said 2 sentences, and I'm like, oh, now I'm interested. Like now I can hear you. And I can sense that you your friend's not super happy about what you just did, to this town, and how rushed you are, like to get, moving along with this adventure. But I can see you struggling with that. I can see it in her face. I'm like, these characters are great, and I'm sure this world's really interesting. It's just, it's sold in such a generic way. It's such a bummer, especially coming off of 2. I could not have told you. You could take any line of them describing 3, and I think you could easily apply it to 2. There doesn't seem to be that big of a difference, especially for something that seems like a trilogy. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I see it taking a break after this one. Even though I'm not saying it's going to be bad, it's not my toaster strudel. I feel like it will be good and ignored. It's hard. This game isn't propped up to succeed right now, I think, maybe because of marketing, Jones.
It's a hard fall. I mean, this is the hardest toaster strudel I've ever had to pick, ever. Looking at this
is your toaster strudel?
No. No.
Okay.
The one I picked from the list you showed us was like,
not a lot of bad games this fall.
Yeah, none
exactly.
of them are like
Yeah, it's
awful.
hard.
Yeah. September 25th, like Valkyria Chronicles 4 is coming out.
Sure, the date's right.
No, it's the end of September. Maybe it's the 27th or 28th.
24th.
There's like
Sorry.
4 or 5 things on this list where if we had all the Pop-Tarts in the world, this would definitely be one of them. But it is not my Pop-Tart. But man, that demo, and Kyle, you said the exact same thing. Told me everything I needed to hear. Like I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in with that demo. Like thank you for giving me like the first 2 chapters of the game and getting a wonderful feel for it. It's exactly what I want. Can't wait for the end of the month.
I haven't done that a lot in my life where you finish a demo. It's like, buy me, please. And I'm like, okay, you got me.
Yeah.
It's a fun demo. It's cool to, I mean, we talked about it when it was announced. It's cool to see Valkyria Chronicles like be normal, be just allowed to be what it is.
Right.
The franchise is allowed to continue on as not just like, oh well, let's put it in high school on a PSP. It's just like let's just make another Valkyria Chronicles game.
Right.
Was the action game a year ago? You know,
Yeah.
so it's just exciting to. I just hope this one is poised to succeed. It definitely has a much smaller budget than Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
I would say like a third of the budget of Tomb Raider.
Right. You can easily see this being like, yes, this exceeded our expectations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not speaking too specifically about Valkyria Chronicles 4, but because I'm reviewing it, but just based on the demo and stuff that you've seen out there, I will say I've seen a lot of people hurl out the accusation that the game is just literally Valkyria 1. It's literally just like reusing the assets, so like it looks the same, looks low, like because of that they think it's low budget, low effort and stuff. And I want to say, just for going off like the demo and stuff, and from past experiences of other games that have basically reused assets, I've seen examples of this where the developers don't have to worry about pushing the visuals, don't have to be, like worry about the engine like running well and stuff like that. They can actually take what they know very well and build upon that and make something even better than the original and go like all out in terms of like making something that is like way more in depth, way more complex, like just kind of just like surpasses your expectations. And that's kind of like the buzz I get from the demo.
Careful, man. Save it for the review, dude.
No, from the demo.
Okay.
I'm going off the demo.
Okay, let's just buzz from the
I
demo.
can
Okay.
separate the
All
two.
right.
Like going
All
off the
right.
demo, like what you just said, Ben.
Yeah.
Like after I played the Japanese demo, I was like, okay, where's this game? Like
Right.
I am like, but I also got it. That mission we've talked about to death, the tank mission, identifying the fake tanks, the real tanks, shooting the towers. Yeah, I don't care if it like. I wanted this to look the same. Like I wanted more of Valkyria. It's been 10 years since I got a console Valkyria Chronicles. I don't like those like claims against it. I just don't care. Like I was like, who cares? Like to me, I don't care. Just give me Valkyria.
You know what I got from the demo? What? Good menus.
You played the demo too, dude?
Oh.
I did. I played this at Judges Week.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Really good menus. I
yeah.
love the aesthetic of
Yeah.
like how you pick just the lists, and it has a real like pen and paper
Yep.
feel, and it
Yep.
feels like you're like on the battlefield taking notes in
The journal.
war, and the journal taking notes and photographs.
The way
and
the
stuff.
map looks, it's all
Yeah.
very stylistically consistent. I really do dig that series big time. Also on the 25th, probably will overshadow it, whether we can help it or not. FIFA 19.
Coming off a World Cup year, it's gonna be big.
No, dude. FIFA 18 had the World Cup mode.
But I meant like we're literally coming off of the World Cup, so people like want more. Like, what's next? What's the next thing? They're gonna go right
I need
to
more.
like FIFA.
I need more football. I need more.
They never have enough. They never have enough.
They never have enough football.
It's gonna sell well.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll look like amazing because they always do a really good job of making it look really well. While the game doesn't actually speak to me because I'm not really interested in it, I gotta say I do love watching that sport. It's very entertaining after watching
I
at the
do
World
not
Cup.
believe you.
What?
I do not believe you love watching soccer.
After
Got that ticket there.
wow, okay.
Yeah, what are you gonna go watch the LA Galaxy?
I mean,
You got your tickets to the LA Galaxy, Damiani?
no, I don't, Kyle.
I have attended an LA Galaxy game.
Have you?
Yes.
Okay.
No one
It's okay.
scored. It was 0-0 at the end of that game.
One of these times,
Shall we move on?
I think like Ian is just gonna troll us with that notepad and just be like, "Suck it," like just.
I want to wait till he starts getting into like emojis or like little
Yeah.
characters that he creates and text and like.
We shall move on from FIFA 19. Thank you,
I
Ian.
just want to be positive about it.
September 27th, Life is Strange 2. That is, of course, just the first episode of an episodic series, but this is the season 2.
Did you hear that? That was Huber. He was like screaming, "Pop Tart!"
Huber just got its wings.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
text.
it's weird. It's hard for me to gauge the hype of this.
well, I think this is not an underdog.
Yeah,
I think this is like an interesting kind of proving stage for this developer because I think they were always. I think they produced interesting stuff. Speaking of Remember Me specifically, that like is fascinating in its concept, but like the actual execution is not that great. I don't think their development prowess was enough to hold up against a lot of other like action games that were like in similar genres, and so they kind of like. Picked a smaller story, something a little more character focused, really focused on the writing. Like the visuals are interesting in Life is Strange, but they're not the strength. Some people complain about the dialogue. Like I just think the relationships and a lot of the shocking scenes, like that's what's really memorable about Life is Strange. And then starting a sequel with like completely different characters and like not setting it in a town, but they're on a road trip. There's just a lot of things where I'm like, fingers crossed. I don't know.
Huber has to take selfies as one of those two guys. We had a bet. You just
nice.
reminded me because I don't think the sequel could have been those two characters again, especially like we didn't know at the time that they were going to do a prequel series. So yeah, I mean, I think moving forward with Life is Strange, you have to pick two new characters and have them go through a new thing. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. He's got to do I think 5 selfies and dressed as one of those two
When did
boys.
this happen?
It was like a year ago, or maybe more. It was before the storm wasn't even announced.
Huber's like
He's got a problem.
bet output is absurdly high.
Yeah.
You guys made a bet like a couple hours ago today.
That was
before
that was
You
supposed to be
made a
off
bet
camera.
today?
That was supposed to be off camera because Huber made a promise he wouldn't do bets anymore this year.
No, he already broke that. He already broke that.
Ask about that.
That's like inviting you into a dark room. It's like, don't let anyone else see this, but
No, he
wanna
already
bet?
broke that
shitty
on
bets.
camera.
Huber very confidently said he would not die more than 10 times in Spider-Man. And then he said if you exclude boss deaths, he would not die more than 3 times. And I said, Huber, I'll take that bet.
What are the stakes?
Band-Aid on the face. He's got to wear a Spider-Man Band-Aid on his face for a group stream if he gets those deaths.
Underoos.
And if he doesn't, you just have to be ashamed of your words.
I have to be ashamed of my words and deeds.
Which
They're never.
it's an ask.
They're never fair for Huber.
Yeah.
Brutal
Stakes are never-
I mean, he came up with
He doesn't. Yeah,
it's his
he
chance.
does the honorable stakes, but he makes a mistake of making the bet with you.
I
Kyle.
just see a lot of
Never
people
learns.
who are like, Life is Strange 1 is great. This game's going to be sweet. And
Yeah.
like, that would be scary. I would assume as a developer to be like, uh-oh. Like,
No, it's funny.
we got a lot to...
But that is
we
the
set the
thing that's
bar,
going
kinda.
right for Don't Nod. It's a funny way to start that conversation, Jones. Is I wonder if even the Vampire team will scale back on their next project because that's what's working for them right now and wonderfully at that. On the 28th, Forza Horizon 4. What do those thumbs ups mean?
Open world games.
Okay, so that's still not your Pop Tart.
No.
I'm still waiting for Jones's Pop Tart.
No, you're not.
Okay.
I honestly want to. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I honestly want to play the hell out of Forza Horizon 4.
Really?
Yeah,
Honestly?
it is. Yes, and it is for a very simple reason. I mean, it's because like playing Forza Horizon 3, the little that I played of it, I had a really good time, and I've enjoyed the Forza games so much, and it's just this simple thing of watching Forza Horizon 4. I just look at it and I'm like, this is a blast. And they don't need to sell me on the features. I don't need to learn everything about it. I don't need the details. Just, it seems like something where you pick up a controller and have fun. And that is super appealing to me. So many games, it's like, well, I want to know what's going on with that character. Or what's this mechanic? None of that. Throw it in the garbage. Just let me race around with people I don't know and have fun. Win or lose.
Ben, you made a great case for Forza
And
Horizon.
gorgeous.
You sold me.
Gorgeous.
Always gorgeous.
It was really funny playing a little bit of Crew 2 and then like seeing gameplay of that and being like, okay. I was like, Crew 2 looks okay. And then see Forza, like, no, Crew 2 does not look good. No.
We're moving into October. We get the leaves are changing.
Ooh,
nice.
yeah, it's getting
it's
a little
nice.
colder.
Getting a little colder. Getting a little spooky. On October 2nd, Assassin's Creed Odyssey will be released. Yeah,
Nice.
it's weird, right? It's that second of silence. It's like, where do we stand with Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
So I just couldn't stay interested in Origins. I know Huber and Brad liked it.
Yeah.
I really like the setting a lot. This is going to be one of those games, and I think every ally has this for certain things where whoever ends up reviewing it, Easy Allies, I'm going to go up them and be like, hey, point blank, is this worth my time?
Yes.
And I will completely depend on what they say.
Because Ben, that's my apprehension. Is like that's the what like ancient Greece is where I would want to go
Yes.
as an assassin. That's
Yes.
where I'd want to spend, and I like that they're even like leaning into mythology and going nuts with that. But the word you said, is this worth my time? That is the primary concern.
Yeah.
Is when they say, yeah, there's 800 things you can do with 800 missions in this game. That makes me shout no.
Exactly.
It makes me shout no and close my phone. I just don't want to do 800 missions.
Because when I think about the Assassin's Creed games that I enjoyed, it wasn't because of all of the things I did. It was because it's like, wow, I think Ezio is a really excellent leading character.
Yeah.
I'm invested in what he's going through. I want to feel that again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I should say it's okay to have things in your games that aren't necessary, right? If your map does have 800 items on it, it's fine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Korok seeds that I didn't collect. That's cool.
But you already have to be in for that stuff to matter.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I can see, it sounds like if you were into Origins, if you finished Origins, you were like, yes, that's my jam. I would imagine this is going to be very similar to that, because it seems like we had the Assassin's break, and then they both came back with these two games, and like I don't know how much these two teams were talking to each other, but they just seemed very similar. Combat seems similar, just kind of like the little
there's
little
loot,
change
dude.
in,
How weird
in
is that?
aesthetic. Yeah.
Didn't Origins do super well?
Yes.
Yes, it did. It did super well.
Cool.
I do wonder how this will compare. I don't think it'll do equal to Origins. Origins had that year off boost.
Right.
A lot of people that bump into me when I talk to fans or just other people in the industry, and they're like, "Oh, you went to the preview event and you played it. Like, how are the decisions?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't see any of that
Yeah.
impact in the short time I played the game. But I think that's a big question. Of like, what? Maybe that doesn't really amount to much. They're really selling that.
When you run into those characters, Ben, they do say, "I am romanceable." I feel like it, right? Just like the way that they really stress it when you run into romanceable characters, just like, hey, I like you. And it's like, okay, all right, come on.
Do you want to see where this decision takes you? Come on.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, it'll do very well. You know, Ubisoft just banking and banking and banking. Not a lot of misses for Ubisoft. I feel like the last 2 years running. Yeah, wow. Maybe Watch Dogs 2, but I mean, even that still did well. Yeah, they're on a streak, and I don't expect it to stop with this game. Keep going, baby. October 2nd also has another huge release, maybe even huger. Probably even bigger than that. Mega Man 11.
Pop-Tart!
Yeah, that's a Pop-Tart. Ding, 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 ding. Ben, why is that your Pop-Tart?
Because, well, again, some of these things have unfair advantages because we got to play them, right? So I
Or Platinum then.
Sure. Unfair. Yeah.
played it at E3, right? And Mega Man been on the ropes.
He's been on the road.
Been on the ropes.
Yeah.
Okay. Care a lot about Mega Man. Grew up with Mega Man. Mega Man 2 was the first the first video game I remember playing.
Whoa.
At all.
Wow.
And so I think when you have something like that is so historical and you're like, it's coming back, you can't, there's not a lot of wiggle room for this feels off. Like,
yes.
You
like Sonic.
right. I think if you're doing stuff all the time and people generally like it, I think you get a lot of wiggle room. I think you get a lot of like, oh, okay, well, I'm not into this right now, but let's see where it goes. I think with something like Mega Man 11, you need to pick up that controller and say immediately, in my bones, this is Mega Man.
Yeah.
And based on what I've experienced with Mega Man 11, that was that sensation. It was like, perfectly, this is how it controls. These new things that you're adding blend well and make sense within the already well-defined mechanics of Mega Man. This is what I want. Like, Hubert and I joke with each other and we say simply perfect, but that was kind of the sensation. It was just an immediate response to it. And I hope that holds true for the whole game.
2 quick questions.
Yeah.
So what are the gears in the upper left-hand corner?
So the gears are powers that you have that you can activate, and you just kind of have to manage your use of them. One slows down time and then one powers you up.
And am I upgrading that? Am I getting loot? Am I like getting like little bits when I defeat an enemy?
I don't think you're upgrading those 2 abilities specifically.
Okay.
Because when you beat a boss, you still get a weapon from that boss.
And a costume. That's what I love more than anything. You soak up the
Right,
enemy entirely,
exactly,
and then you
exactly.
look like them. Yeah,
Yes,
it's really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
And
cool.
that power is also affected by the gears as well.
Oh, so if I'm using
So
like my drill,
Blockman or whatever, the guy drops the blocks.
Yep.
Like the normal one's is like 1 or something, and then like the powered up one drops a ton of them.
Cool.
Like down.
really, really
yeah.
cool. So you just want to even play around with stuff like that. Second question is, can you slide?
Yes, you can slide.
Great. Well, that is a Pop-Tart for you. I can't believe that's coming out so soon.
I said that the gears were strength of attacks and slowing down time, right? Okay.
Yeah. You said power it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Brickman was the name.
October 5th, Super Mario Party coming to the Switch.
Woo!
There's Ian's.
It's weird with Mario Party because like your last Mario Party experience really colors how you feel about Mario Party in a way, right?
What, we played 4, you mean?
Yeah,
That
we
one?
played 4 and it was a
Yeah.
great time. And
Yes.
I'm totally ready to play Super Mario Party.
Yeah. The thing I'm nervous about is I think, Mario Party on GameCube and N64 is fun because those controllers are so good.
Yeah.
When this comes out and says, yeah, you're going to play with your Joy-Cons, I'm worried. I'm sweating.
I mean, they're gonna make you put like 8 Joy-Cons on your Switch because everyone's gonna have to go like or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Think of the streams
That
though.
part's a little-
This will be really fun.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah,
Streams,
this will be
no
fun.
question.
The thing about being able to like combine your switches together to make like the boards. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude. That's got to be just a novelty on the side mode.
I know
right?
how that
You-
works.
Oh,
actually.
yeah. How,
I read about it. So the way it works is you put the 2 switches next to each other, right, in whatever configuration you want. Then you draw with your finger. You draw a line between the 2 switches, and then they just go, okay, that's where they're connected.
Oh, that's neat.
So it's like
Just a little prep.
it's really awesome, but it's not like crazy witch magic.
Okay.
It's just like you draw a line.
Sure. Yeah, I wonder how this will do. I mean, Switch's first party stuff has been killing it all year long, all 2 years long, right? At this point, and so I wonder if that'll have the same effect on this game called Super Mario Party. It's not a numbered Mario Party; it's Super Mario Party. This is the one. We're going back to our roots. No more car that everybody hangs out in together. This is a board game with mini games. At the same time, bring your Joy-Cons. So I don't know. I don't know how to peg this one at this point.
I'm not waiting for it out of anticipation, but I'm always afraid whenever that big new Switch release rolls around that's first party, that's directly from Nintendo. It's like, did they phone this one in? I don't know. You know, it's like, are they able to give all of these, even like Mario Tennis, which I didn't play, like it definitely seemed like an improvement over the last one, and it just seems like they put a lot of love and care, and hopefully they can keep that up, but I don't know.
I mean,
With Mario Party, who knows?
there's 2 things I want. I want you to not use the dumb car thing. That sucks.
You got that?
And 2, I want to play a minigame and be like, oh, this was a clever idea. Like when we
Yes.
played Mario Party 4, the book one where the pages are falling and you fall in a hole, it's like, this is just a super clever creative idea.
Yeah.
You just want good minigames and get rid of the car. That's it.
Okay. That
Well-
might come.
Yeah.
We might have that.
Good boards. but-
October 12th, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be released. Game Informer's got some details this week about the Battle Royale mode, so we're learning a little bit.
Blackout.
Blackout.
Yeah, was gonna be my first question. Do we have we
Sure.
still not? Somebody said maybe screenshots or like they teased.
Yeah, they
footage
got
of it, or-
screenshots and vehicles and stuff like that. Game Informer's got some good stuff on it, Jones.
Okay.
Right now it's at 80 players.
Ooh.
This is my toaster strudel.
Oh,
Okay.
this is your toaster strudel?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just can't care.
All right.
Ian, what if there's like a headline that says Blackout is the most popular online mode of any game?
I go, okay.
Okay.
Make that epic money. Go for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to make epic money off of that. Yeah, it's in a weird position.
Blackout's
What's
like the only
perfectly
part
in
that
between
could
a
be cool.
Pop-Tart and a toaster strudel?
I don't know, like some dust on a plate.
Yeah, I think this is my dust on a plate. Okay. yeah. Yeah.
But Blackout could be really, really crazy, and it's
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
it's a bummer because I imagine so many eyes are going to be on Blackout at launch. Like so many people are going to judge Blackout by that first run. You know,
Yes.
that first time they drop in, they're like, "Well, that's Blackout," and like clearly this is something that not only a developer like Treyarch, but just anybody that's working on Call of Duty like is going to work on something and listen to the community, and like that's how Fortnite got so good.
Yes.
Because it's a way different game than it is now than when it first launched. Not only without Battle Royale, but ever since they added that.
And that's what they actually said. When
So I want it to grow and for them to make mistakes and learn from them and add new fun stuff, surprise their fans.
Yeah.
And I just hope it would suck if people give it like 48 hours and they're done.
So it's Jones. That's basically when the article says like, hey, there's 80 players, and they know how bad that's going to sound, but they're like, hey, why should we hit this arbitrary number? But also we're 80 right now. This game is going to grow. This won't like live and won't be the same game.
80
it
is
is
more than
the
I
first
thought they
week.
were going to do.
Really?
Because I have no idea how that's really going to look and how it's going to perform.
Yeah, because that's the thing is they were playing it. It's like it just works better with
Neither
80.
PUBG or Fortnite
Yeah.
looks like COD, and so COD running with 80 people on a like that's That's a record for COD. So them COD doing a record of number of players in a match, not impressing people, is frustrating.
I'll tell you what was a little toaster strudely for me is there was another headline on Game Informer, didn't even click on it, that the Battle Royale mode will have zombies. And that's like, don't add that to your Battle Royale mode, dudes. Keep them separate. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like
That is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just like
Make it a seasonal thing.
they're
Throw
out
it in
there.
On, you know.
Oh yeah, maybe
It's in October. Maybe they'll launch with it and then.
You know what?
take
I
them
should
out
have
of
been
it.
responsible and click the headline and learn more from Game Informer. But I just, saw that headline, closed my phone. Go ahead.
Yeah, playing the Black Ops 4 beta, I really liked how it felt.
Oh, you were in that beta?
Yeah, I
Cool.
liked the time to kill. I liked what they were doing with the health. I really liked the design of the maps. But yeah, this black it's frustrating that Blackout is still as much of a question mark as it is with this so close. But also this Black Ops pass just puts a stink on the whole thing.
Oh yeah, we went through that pass. The thing sucks.
That thing sucks.
Yes, that's why it's
like,
so low on the desire index.
It's like something that you read in an article,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait, no, it can't be that bad. And then you go and you read it again, and you just can't believe it. Like, the audacity of its shittiness is,
Yeah.
it just sucks.
Yeah, it's funny to me. Blackout is the only thing to talk about for this poor game. You know, none of the other stuff we'll ever be interested in. So yeah, it's just the only headline-worthy thing. On October 16th, Lego DC Supervillains. Yeah, man.
Create your character.
create your character.
Create your own villain who doesn't talk.
And I do like it's got a big open world. You know, I dig that every time. And so if it's like half
Kevin
Metropolis,
Conroy,
half
Mark
Gotham, it's
Hamill,
cool. Yeah.
Clancy Brown is Lex Luthor. Fun voices coming back.
Kyle.
A very unoffensive another Lego game.
The article, the Game Informer article that you didn't click on,
Yeah.
pretty much boils down to, but how do the zombies fit in differently into Battle Royale? In the days to come, we'll break down how undead figure into Blackout and how they can both be a pest and a boon to your efforts to be the best warrior in the battlefield. It's just a puff piece for more information
later this week.
It's very funny to me.
Could you hear just a little bit of attitude in Ian's voice when he said that? There's like a character he was doing.
You mean like a good
something just-
attitude?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
On October 19th, Soul Calibur 6 is going to be released.
Sure.
Oh man, a new
Yeah,
Soul Calibur game.
Absolutely.
It's one of those scary things where the headline coming into it, you never want. This is bad press. If this does poorly, it's the end of the series. You know, it's just like
Oh,
don't,
no.
no
Whoa,
producer
they
should say that. Yeah.
they
Going
said
down the
that?
chips.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
It's-
a threat.
Yes.
It's weird
That's a
because
threat.
playing it at E3, the sensation was like, I need to go back and play more of this. This is so much fun. And you could see it in the other people that were playing. Like, it's always a good sign when both people that clearly play fighting games and then other people that don't are both getting excited and having fun
Yeah.
and just like getting into whether they win or lose on this demo on the show floor. Like, that's a good sensation.
Jones likes Soul Calibur.
I do. I've already committed to
Yeah.
getting better at one fighting game this year. I don't know if I can do two.
Oh, so you're Smash.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Soul Calibur.
I thought it was Sonic the Fighters.
I am already good at Sonic
Yeah,
Fighters, man.
he's a champ at
I went
that.
from 0 to 60, so check that off the list.
But I saw this comment on Frame Trap and like trying to extrapolate it because we talked about the Tira DLC thing
Okay.
on Frame Trap, and they were like,
Pre-announced DLC before the game comes out. We already know one DLC character, even before the final roster is revealed. Okay, continue.
and just in this person's opinion, they were
Yeah.
like, "Ew, this sucks. I guess I'm not gonna get this. This game needs all the goodwill it can get." And like, you know, very harsh. And I'm not necessarily something that I agree with, but like from an outside perspective, if it's like, hey, you're trying to make this series succeed, and it's really important that it does.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do this stuff. Maybe really think super carefully about how you talk about these things.
Yeah, so I think it's tricky because for some dumb reason they have to start selling their season passes at a certain length, a certain
Right.
amount of time before the game is released. And so to sell the season pass, they had to show that DLC character even before they finished showing their roster. It's nuts. Yeah, it was just a bad situation. This is where season passes get us, you know?
I think it's a bad time, too.
Oh yeah, in this busy October. What do you think
Well,
the next
just the
game we're going to talk
fighting
about is?
genre, correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, but the fighting genre does not seem to be in dire straits right now. It's like, we got this is a Smash year. Tekken just had a big release.
Hey, the
Yeah,
one's driving for everybody. That's good. Though.
Dragon
You know,
Ball
like,
Fighters?
we're just hanging on that
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat announcement any
Yep.
day now. You know, there's just
Yep,
just a lot of chatter going on, and
Right.
and it's and, you know, you could potentially argue that like, no, now's a good time because people are ready for that stuff. But I just think it's a rough October.
I do wonder how different Soul Calibur is for people because like I'm probably gonna buy this and I usually don't get fighting games. You know, I wonder how many other people are like that.
In fact, Ben, I wonder if it'll get competitive. I almost think this franchise leans more casual. I wonder if this will have an esports scene. You know, I'd probably be at Evo for 1 year, but I wonder if it lasts beyond that.
Yeah, it was interesting just reading responses to things and a number of people being like, you know, the second they announced Create a Soul, which they did, I'm in. And that's an interesting position to be in, where people are not necessarily in it to go online and wreck people. They're in it to see what they do with these characters that they're bringing back and how crazy they can get with Create a Soul and sharing that online. And so, yeah, I think that is encouraging for sure.
It's cool. I hope it does well. I hope the franchise does not die this year. October 26th. Sure. Red Dead Redemption 2.
This is a blueberry Pop-Tart.
Ooh, it's a blueberry Pop-Tart.
I'm okay. I'm okay eating the Pop-Tarts cold. I do Pop-Tarts cold.
Yeah.
I'm just fine. Just, you know, it's just a snack. I just want to get to
So
it.
Yeah.
These have been
cold
heated.
or room temperature?
Just room temp. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
I was
Just
saying.
straight out of the packaging.
Yeah.
This has been heated. This is commercial ready. You're ripping the middle of that. And
Oh, so it's steaming a little bit.
It just looks, This is a very edible Pop-Tart, and we're enjoying it now.
Why?
This is also my Pop-Tart.
Ooh, this is Ian's Pop-Tart too?
Yeah, dude.
This is a deep dish
This is
pizza
like-
of a video game. You
Yeah.
just sink your teeth into this, and you can feel the cheese and the pepperoni between your teeth and on your buds. And you just,
On that list of games, this is like thermonuclear. It's like a mountain and everything.
I didn't even
else
want to talk
is
about
a
rosters
ditch.
not being done. There are still like the major announcements for this game that we still don't know. There's still like I'm telling you, like they've released lots of little tiny details that are so fascinating. You know, like when you just add them all up, they're really great. But I still think there's just one or two of those big. Oh, whoa! How is that gonna work? You know, something akin to the 3 characters in GTA 5. We haven't had anything like that yet.
Yeah.
Everything that they've talked about is like that thing you liked in Red Dead Redemption, a little bit more, a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex, a little more developed, a little more attention given to that.
All the things
but you'll
you-
really have to play the game.
All the things you're telling me so
For
far are
several
boring me.
hours
Why
to
is
know.
this a Pop-Tart then? If it's just a little more.
It is one of the best teams in the biz doing what they do best.
Sure. Yep.
You know, on top of a game that was already one of the best of its generation. So it just seems like it's kind of the same thing. The reason why this and Spider-Man, I was just like, my head was spinning. I was so excited about them because it just all the ducks were in a line, marching towards launch, ready to go. So few doubts in my mind.
Ian, do you agree that Red Dead Redemption is one of the best games of the generation?
Oh yeah, probably.
Wow, I did not know that you liked this franchise.
I didn't
so
know
much.
that either.
I mean, it's funny because I don't like GTA much.
Yeah.
Like, I did not like 5, really, and I'm very excited for this game. I think just, honestly, the setting appeals to me more, you know?
Yeah.
And, like,
it's less jokey.
it's less jokey, and, yeah, everything about it I just like. The vibes, just, like, in 1, I sat around on a mountain just kind of, like, hunting bears for hours. So long.
You know, you say Red Dead Redemption is less jokey, but I remember Red Dead Redemption being a legitimately funny game for me.
It's
Like,
funny,
there
but
were-
it's not,
there
like,
were
crass.
Yeah.
Sure.
As well, I mean, it definitely
Not a lot of humor
they
coming
say
from the
swears and stuff.
protagonist. A lot of
Yeah.
other
Right.
funny characters had to come up.
Yeah, but his straight face in certain situations,
Yeah.
just ridiculous situations, played so well. Yeah.
And I think about something like Odyssey, and I think the
Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I think the world is really fascinating. I think there's gonna be a lot of really fun places to explore and stuff to fight and like lots of big large scale battles. But I think for myself, when I've been playing a lot of the recent Assassin's Creed games, like I get a vibe what this world was like, but I don't get a vibe of what it was like to live in this world because I'm a very interesting person. You know, like I am a super powered assassin, and so like not everybody can just climb up that statue. Not everybody, you know, has the arsenal and the abilities that I have, and I think this will be one of the truest games to a time period that's just ever been created. I think you like what I imagine when I play Red Dead Redemption 2 is really soaking up the 19th century, what it was like to live in this time, what it was like to just for someone who likes to camp, someone who likes to hike, somebody who loves the outdoors, just the benefits of that, where it's like it is kind of great to just get on a horse and just go out in the middle of nowhere. You see like old westerns and stuff, and it's like, well, time to go to that town, and they get on a horse, and then montage, and then they show up in the town, and it's like that was like 4 days of just them on a horse camping, and then going, and then camping, and then going, and just capturing that lifestyle, and through interactive media, getting a sense of like what that was like. Is why I live for this biz, man. It's why I live for these types of games.
Plus, online is going to
live
be
for this
bonkers.
I don't think
sorry, what?
online's gonna be bonkers.
Online's-
Online?
Well, of course, but what is?
I mean, they still. There was that rumor a year ago that there's a battle royale mode in this. We haven't heard a
Oh,
peep
yeah.
about it since. I wonder if that's still there. Do you think so? Do we
yeah,
think
with
there's
zombies.
Yeah,
I mean, these things print money, so like, why not?
zombies are good or bad. Not. I mean, yeah. I kind of feel like that's still gonna be in there somehow. I feel like they're just gonna blow it out. I
mean-
trailer after the next trailer. Hey,
Well, it's
by
kind of the same
the
thing we
way-
talked about with Blackout. It's like GT Online has changed so much since launch, so they're gonna add all sorts of weird stuff. You know,
Yes.
you're gonna get all sorts of crazy updates and.
Yeah, it could be a timed event or like a location you go to, and then there's a battle royale like thing you get
Oh,
enrolled
yeah.
in or something.
You mean
yeah.
not like something you just select from the menu, but it's
Right.
just kind of integrated in everything else?
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
I finished the review for Spider-Man, exported that out of Adobe Premiere. Like one of my first thoughts was, here we go. Now I'm like, okay, got the platinum for Spider-Man.
On to the
I was
next
like
one.
starting to kind of put that game away. It's still so
Yeah.
much fun to just jump back in 30 seconds and go webbing around, maybe do a crime or two. But I'm starting to get in that mindset of like, okay,
It's coming.
time
dude.
for that next trailer, part 2, whatever they're. Oh,
Did y'all hear that?
Oh.
Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of September. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Hogue Law brings more than a decade of experience forming and funding companies, negotiating contracts, and everything in between. At Hogue Law, it's always business law time. Check them out at hoeglaw.com or on Twitter at Hogue Law. El Fanis. Sweet Justice, a sound design company from the southern shores of the UK. They've worked on some of the biggest AAA titles, the most refreshing indie titles, and collaborated with the best development teams in the world. Imagine Betting. Imagine Betting is owned by big fans of the Allies that are proud to help support them. They're a family-run betting company located in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains. They believe that everyone should have access to high-quality betting on any budget. They make every mattress to order. This means their factory won't start producing your mattress until your name is attached to it. The mattresses are brand new and 100% yours. During the month of September, they're offering a 20% discount on any order with free shipping. Use coupon code EASY20, that's EASY 20, at checkout at imaginebetting.com. iKeyless. iKeyless.com is proud to sponsor Easy Allies. If you need a replacement car key or remote, use offer code EASYA at checkout for free shipping and 30% off of your order. Beaten Down Brian. Mango. 16-Bit Psych and Broke Astronaut. Two brothers who are budding indie game developers. Check out their games. Stories in Stone, an RPG about exploring an ancient world and forging a bond with your wolf. And The Adventures of Clive McGulligan, a 2D retro-inspired action puzzle platformer with challenging gameplay. And our mega sponsor, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Man, I love getting new sponsors.
I'm looking at the
And the
site.
official nod to Scorn. They're
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
They've officially moved on
Scorn has
to
graduated.
greener pastures.
Yep.
And we await more news from them eventually.
I'm
might
excited
have
to
to
stop
steps for their
betting
game.
every week.
Yeah, I might have to get a pillow here.
I want a mattress with my name on it.
Yeah.
I want a mattress with Cal's name on it.
You cannot have that. I'll call them and ask them never to let you have that. We're moving into
The
November.
Bossman model is discontinued,
Yeah.
sir. I'm sorry.
the Kyle Bossman one.
We have a fresh Damiani version.
November 9th, Hitman 2 will be released.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Life is Strange, where it's just like, this won't suck, I guess, because the first one was so good. And
Right.
then just seems like they're just making more.
Yeah.
This is definitely a situation where it's like, yeah, what you did last time, just keep going. Don't
More of that,
really
please.
need anything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm proud of the team. I'm happy that they're making it non-episodic. That's cool. I'm truly happy about that. And yeah, I kind of think November 9th is an okay spot for this game. We'll get deeper into the month, but I think that I don't think it's bad. On November 13th, Spyro Reignited Trilogy will be released. Again, it was delayed to this release date. That game's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I learned over the last year since this game has been announced and even teased at, this game's going to be enormous.
Didn't the Insane trilogy also do really, really, really well?
Yes.
Really well.
Shockingly well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I agree. It's
And you
great.
want to support this because what a wonderful thing to happen to any franchise.
Yes.
Sure.
You want. I'm tempted to buy this game if I'm playing it or not. Just to be like, yeah.
Let the old ones
More of
live.
this, more of this.
Yeah, exactly. Damiani, you're going to play this game?
Yeah, I got to actually play it at was it Comic-Con or E3? E3, sorry, I got to play it at E3.
Yeah.
Sorry, those two blur together now at this point. I never touched Spyro before though, the original games.
Right,
So this
so
will
I'm
actually
surprised
be
you're into
this will
this.
be like my first time actually playing through these games. I'll play through the first one at the very least. I don't know
Sure.
if it's not as good as I think it will be. I don't think I'm going to stick around for 2 and 3, but I had a good time with it. It's nice to go back and see how platformers from other companies did it that I missed out on for whatever reason because I didn't growing
had
up.
an N64,
I didn't,
man.
I didn't have a
Yeah.
PlayStation growing up, so and then I just never went back to try out Spyro for whatever reason. And that flying level that they unlocked, because all the levels were pretty like simplistic in nature.
Yes.
They looked nice. Then they unlocked the flying level, and I was like, "What the hell?" I didn't even know. Like, I was like, "Okay, yeah, he's a dragon. Of course he can fly." And it was just like something completely else. And they're like, "Yeah, there's gonna be more stuff like that." I was like, "All right, you have me in
Ooh,
on that."
There you
Yeah.
go.
They got Damiani in on the
On a
flying
That was like a
platformer, no
flying
less.
like
Yeah,
Star Fox
and there's like
mission. Yeah.
multiple different things to do. You like get all these.
Yeah, you have a
balloons or
time
break
limit. You
all
got to
these
extend your
crates.
time by collecting the gems and
Yeah.
like defeating like the flying. There's like a dogfight area. Then there's flying through the ring area. Then there's like navigate like these very narrow like caves and like destroy things on trains. I was like, well, what is?
Yeah.
This is insane. So
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going
This
on
is
in
like the opposite of Shadow the Tomb Raider for me because I've enjoyed this marketing more than I think I'll enjoy any of these games.
Yeah.
Because they're shining a light on what's different. They're really showcasing, like, look at this dude on the PS1. Now look at this guy now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not even, oh, you brought his little details to life. There's like 2 details. Like they had to kind of reimagine, like, really what were we thinking when we, conceptualized these
What were
characters,
they
this
thinking?
race,
It's
this
actually a
dragon.
different team.
Or what, yeah. And that's just so cool to see. And it's a bummer because I did not play Crash 2 or 3, but I played Crash 1 a lot. And it was just 5 seconds in that when I played that at E3, the first time I got my hands on it, was like, oh boy, right away. I was like, look at this game. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to have that with Spyro. And that's a bummer. I think it's one of the reasons why I might not check it out. But I wished I could just fairy godmother wave the magic wand and be like SSX and like and you get this too and everybody
Yeah, I
all
mean-
the PS1
Oh, yeah,
dreams
that's just actually nice.
It's so weird.
or PS2 dreams.
Medieval was announced so long ago.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
years ago?
and we've still not seen a peep from it. But yeah,
It's a weird announcement though. It did feel like something was missing.
Oh, yeah.
Or like they had maybe like had that deal that night.
yeah.
And he's like, this afternoon
That is
we
exactly how it
we had a
felt.
conversation. It went well.
Yeah.
Had that vibe.
You need to show it exactly, like just like you're saying, like Spyro's campaign is good. If they just said, "Hey, we're redoing everything," without showing new Spyro, it would have plopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, just show the game, shine a light. On November 14th, Fallout 76. My toaster.
You can just say it, Kyle. Kyle, you can just say it.
joining you.
Damiani's hopping in on this.
Oh,
You know?
yeah,
I completely get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
well.
You non-believers.
I'm not a big Fallout fan, and I think this is cool.
But I mean, I think that's kind of the thing. Like, we're at a point where you just believe or you don't.
Yep.
Right? You kind of have to take it
Yeah.
on faith at this
Okay.
point.
You right.
Yeah.
To me, it's a goof off game. Like it'll be fun for people to goof off in.
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's the intent.
But don't underestimate the power of goof-off games.
Right,
From a
goof-off
commercial
games
perspective.
explode on
Yeah,
Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I feel like that's the wild card, Ben. I
Yes.
feel like that's why it could just go so wrong. And I'm just I'll wait and see. And if it turns out to be something big, sure, you prove me wrong. But right now, I just like that goofiness that you described, Kyle. I just can't get behind this right now. I just it like needs to come out. I need to see people like talking positively.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think the problem for me is when they're sitting there saying like, hey, you can go get nukes with your friends and nuke people and you can adventure across the wasteland and take on monsters. Like, just saying those words, you can envision a video game where that is super fun, but nothing that they've convinced me on like a very raw mechanical
Yeah.
level
Yeah,
is
dude.
that this is fun.
And then you see the
it's
gameplay,
like,
yeah.
the idea of it is awesome, but maybe doing it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, Ben, and I'm sure you get this because you review, Damiani, you review a ton of games too. And like, I got a little bit with Spider-Man where people were like reaching out to me and they're like, I need to know this one very specific detail or I'm either buying this game or not. And I'm like, that's so unfortunate because this game is so fun and I think you'd enjoy it regardless. I don't know why you're hung up on like that one little detail. But that's totally where I am with 76. We're like,
What's the detail?
just everything, man. It just seemed like everything they talked about in that Bethesda press conference was like, wait, what? You didn't explain that at all. Like, how does that work? Like, I was so confused after E3. It's like, how does my home work? Huh? My home's in like a briefcase, like the Jetsons, and I just like set it up. Like, what does that cost? Like, it seemed like, almost like every little factoid you could tell me was like a coin in a bank. And it's like, I need that to get to $5 before I'm even going to consider thinking about this, because it just seems like a game that's built of all those little tiny things.
Yeah.
That the concept is easy to understand, but it's like the concept, I'm not playing a concept here. Like, I really want to know. So even just watching 5 or 10 minutes of it, it's like, I still don't really know.
Just a side note, it really is driving me up a wall when they keep saying, we know you have a lot of questions. And
It's like,
man, we live in a post No Man's Sky world. Like, we got a lot of questions. Got a lot of questions.
Ian, what's up?
Well, I was just gonna say, I think Bethesda's taking an uncharacteristically Bethesda approach to this game, where they're sort of like almost jokingly acknowledging, like, yeah, this game is gonna be broken trash when it comes out.
Yes.
And like, we don't even kind of know what this game is gonna be like.
The beta is named as such.
It's named like break it early, break it often, or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that's refreshing coming from Bethesda, because like their games, when they come out, are usually not, they don't function perfectly, and they don't look great, and like, it seems like they're having fun with it, and they're open to just experimenting and letting this game grow and change and become what it is based on feedback. And to me, that's exciting in any developer, but especially Bethesda.
I'll make a prediction. I bet beta day one, number one on Twitch.
Yeah.
When the game
Oh,
launches,
absolutely.
not number one on Twitch.
That's a bold prediction. Ian, that's an interesting read, and I totally see where you're coming from. I also think you could completely go the other way, where it's like, well, they're games that they're not saying are completely broken and messy, are broken and messy. And so when they're coming out and saying it, like,
It's gonna be doubly so.
right? It's gonna be
Sure.
doubly so.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be to the point where you can't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but it's, at least they're saying it, So it's like, we can't be upset when it sucks and is broken, because they've told us it's gonna suck and be broken for a while.
I mean, even if they
That's a
say
toaster strudel, man. That's
I
a
mean,
even if they say 1,000
Like,
times it's gonna suck and be broken, like, I'm still gonna be pissed off when I'm
Yeah.
playing it and it sucks and it's broken.
Actually, the question to me is, have they said how much it costs? Is it free?
That's a $60 game.
Oh,
Pre-order now.
I wonder if one of the
then
big
that
issues
changes
is
it. That changes it.
it's a huge developer and a huge franchise out the gate. PUBG appeared on the internet to very little fanfare.
Yes.
Fortnite appeared to very little fanfare and then grew.
Yes.
And this baby, day one, is going to have so many eyeballs
Spotlight
on
on
it.
it,
And
yeah.
it kind of sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I think regardless of whatever they're
Pedigree,
doing,
yeah.
I still think they're selling it weird. But
Yeah. And I mean, my biggest worry is, I
knows?
mean, you mentioned No Man's Sky, but also I think Sea of Thieves is
Yeah,
like the more
absolutely.
recent thing, where it's just like,
Sea of Thieves was number one on Twitch.
Sea of Thieves, yeah, and like Sea of Thieves as a foundation, as a core, is a brilliant, amazing game, but it just didn't have the content, and I think that's my biggest fear for this, is like, the nukes thing and the building houses and going around is cool and maybe even surprisingly works well, but then there's just nothing else to do. To me, if I'm entertained for like 4 hours, I'll be like, yeah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, Ian. I think you bring up a really good point. That's another thing for me with Fallout 76, where it's like, all right, if you're bad out the gate, like, I've got a zillion other things to play, and just like with Sea of Thieves, you just end up getting swept away in all that other stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
if you're not capturing me or convincing me to invest a lot of time in this, it's like, well, time to just go play other stuff.
when is Anthem coming out?
next year.
February, I think.
Okay.
I feel like
Is
that's
that February 22nd?
I'll check.
Okay.
That's also another game I'm worried about, like the content problem. Like you're talking about, like Sea of Thieves and stuff. That's
yeah,
like,
that's content
it
problem?
seems like
Yeah.
a game,
But I think
right
that's
for
a
that.
given no matter what type
Oh.
of, if you're dabbling in that type of genre, I think that's a given, that kind of question mark, how deep is this? But I think about all the questions I still have for Fallout and playing Anthem for 3 seconds. Just like, oh, this feels great.
Sure.
You know, like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
these
dude.
jets, I'm loving
Yeah,
these
there's
On
jets.
a very raw level.
So at least have something
Yeah.
there that, just like Ian was saying, that's to me it worth at least 4 hours. Just wee,
Yep.
I'm just not
It's like,
invested
oh, this mission
enough
again?
in
Okay, now it's getting
Fallout
dull,
to
but-
like want to be part of that work in progress.
Right.
Like I just
Check
no.
in later.
Yeah. See ya.
We have confirmation that Anthem will be releasing on February 22nd, 2019.
Thanks, Ian.
Look forward to our rundown on that in 2019. Pokemon Let's Go will be released on November 16th.
This is my toaster strudel.
It's my toaster
Close
as well.
to mine.
Yeah, that's a good toaster strudel.
I've really taken a 180 on this one.
yeah. We were so excited when they announced this.
Yeah.
What
Is
changed?
this also your toaster strudel?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here's what changed, okay?
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of arguments both for and against Pokemon Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, this is going after the Pokemon Go audience. This is an introduction to Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
It is a simplified, reduced, don't think too much about it version of Pokemon. And that is super not what I want. I don't think it needs to be this ultra complex, like, oh man, you're challenging me at every turn game. But I think you're gonna play it and just feel empty. Where
I'm
like
afraid of that, yeah.
like when you have played Pokemon and you have some sense of what it is and you know what fills you up, like there are certain like little dashes of depth. And then you play Pokemon Let's Go, and my fear is that it's just like, oh, I can't do that, huh? Okay, time to move on. Or like, oh, this isn't part of that game. And like, yeah, I guess you can try to remove yourself from the equation and go, well, they did it on purpose. You're still gonna kind of feel that emptiness. You're still gonna feel that like lack of satisfaction where you're like, wait, no, but like, it could be. Like, you could have put this in there and you could have made this fun for everyone.
I have a
And you
question
didn't.
for you guys actually about this because I was excited because I never played the first one. Do you think, given all that, like someone coming in who hasn't played the original, do you think I'm gonna just have a bad time on it? Like, I
No.
honestly don't know.
I think you're going to have a good time.
You think so?
I kind of do.
Because I won't know what I'm missing.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost that,
Yeah,
yes.
they're counting it as a gateway game. I mean, Pokemon Go captured a huge audience, but there, as you said, Ian, there's still people who haven't like played a more traditional style game. While this doesn't have all the features of that, it's still designed. I think this is going one step further than their other mobile efforts, which are meant to be like gateways to their other
Franchises.
product. Their franchises.
Yeah.
This one, I think they felt there needed to be another intermediary step there. I just don't know if they really needed it or not. Like I guess I'm kind of curious why this exists. Is my like biggest question.
That's
But,
my
like
big-
why does this exist when you already have Pokemon Go?
Right.
And like what? I
It's
just
like a
don't.
stopgap almost.
It feels like too much. I was like, why? I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like an awful experience or awful game. I just don't understand why the need to do this.
Not only that,
Yeah.
but the fact that it is reinterpreting the original games. I think just mentally, I'd be so much more okay with being like, hey, this is a new special Pokemon adventure where we're trying to do this thing. But the fact that it's like, no, all the same places are in, all the same characters that you know are in. It's like, no, like, because then you're not just being a new thing. Then you're trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And that's where I get really frustrated.
I got the impression that they knew that. Like they pulled damage control on it because the time they announced this, they were like, there's a real one coming in 2019. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's like they know.
2019's Pop-Tart, yeah.
Right. They knew.
Yeah, I just, if you close your eyes and say, Kyle, they're remaking Red and Blue, and I just start imagining things and then open them and see that
But like
game,
they're
it's
not,
even
and that's
close.
where I get
Yeah.
stuck
Oh,
on
yeah,
this
they-
game.
they won't
is,
call it a
as somebody who
remake,
Red and Blue we had a magical moment at the beginning
Yeah.
of EZA where like I discovered this game and now I have like this passion for this series and like I'm dying for that the game we're gonna get next year on Switch. I really that game could be anything. Like I don't have like obviously my anticipation of that game will get to be higher or lower depending on what they eventually do. But I'm just excited to that I'm ready for like the next big
You'll be in
Pokemon
on the ground
release
floor.
when it know. And I did play the game on 3DS, but it's like when I first heard about it, just like you were saying, Ben, it's like, oh, this is exciting. So it's a remake of Red and Blue, and they're like, no, it's more like a Pokemon Go thing. So it's like, oh,
inspired
cool. Well, then
by-
you're evolving what you did in Pokemon Go. Like, no, we're just kind of
Exactly.
adding that to Red and
Exactly.
Blue. It's like, just pick one.
Yeah.
Just either. I think this would. I think the smartest play is. Just let this be a companion to Pokemon Go. Call it that. Don't call it like weird. Like,
It kind of is.
I mean,
Let's go.
yeah, it's called
like-
yeah.
I think the branding's good.
I think it would be.
it
I think it'd be
is.
really interesting. It's like a super cheap game.
Yeah.
Like $10 that just you have on Switch that you can port all of your Go characters over. You can organize them, battle. There's no story, nothing. It's just a real cheap thing, but it's gonna make Go look better than it ever has. And then sell it as that. And, people, you have a huge audience that's going to buy that. But just like, it seems like they put too much work in or not enough. I can't figure out.
Well, here's the thing. I have a tough question for the panel.
Yeah.
Which will sell more, this or Smash Bros? I think this will.
I think this will too. I agree with
I
you.
could see this selling like gangbusters, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's where I stand on
This is
it.
gonna sell more because of when it's coming out. That's probably the strongest reason.
Okay.
If Smash came out in November, I would say it'd be pretty close.
All right.
Smash
you're-
is coming out too late.
You're counting both copies as one entity.
Yeah,
Obviously.
they always do. Yeah. Well, actually, they don't always. Sometimes they separate it. Like, here's Pokemon Sun, here's Pokemon
do
Moon. I wonder what
sometimes.
they do in the PDs these days.
The thing that's hard is I'm being super down on it, right? But I also need to know, like I need to play all of that thing. I need to
Yes.
see
Yeah.
what it is.
It's a Pokemon game on your Switch.
I'm going to be
man.
asking
Yeah.
myself every 60 seconds, what am I doing?
Right,
When I'm
exactly,
going through, like,
exactly.
Get to the next town and get a couple new Pokemon.
I see it as a game a lot of people will play. But I just see it as a game, also as a game a lot of people will not finish. I think
Yes.
people just play to
Yep.
try it out, especially
Right.
because of the Pokeball peripheral. But like just the catching stuff.
I
I
do like
forgot
that.
about the peripheral.
I
Yeah,
do
the
like the
peripheral for people who got it. It's
Oh, wait, is it
that's
sold
a
out
huge.
already?
I don't know. It was at the time.
I
Maybe
bet
it's
they
back in
can't.
stock.
I bet you can't get a pre-order right now.
Wait, don't you like get Mew if you?
They did something.
Man.
They used
there's
that
something like that. Yep.
That's DLC,
There's
baby.
something like that. Yes.
We got a hot new release date. On November 20th, Battlefield 5 will be coming out on that date now. It got delayed last week.
Pushed it out.
Okay.
Yep. Battlefield 5 is in such a weird position.
Yeah.
This delay was weird. Basically, the way that they had to say, hey, this mode is actually going to be missing at launch, and then a day later after the backlash saying, no, okay, all right, we'll put it in, and then having to do this delay on top of that.
Oh, I missed all of this.
Yeah,
wow.
man. Battlefield 5 is it's just man, it's not looking good for Battlefield 5. In certain ways, I'm sure it'll still sell millions, right? I wonder about this. It's an interesting spot. How does the panel feel about this?
I wonder how. I feel like because Call of Duty is coming first, I know that there are a lot of people who swear by one or the other, but I do think either the reception to Call of Duty one way or another will greatly influence the reception to Battlefield 5. Like, if Call of Duty is just abysmal for everyone, you can imagine a lot of people will be like, well, thank God Battlefield 5 is coming out in a little bit.
Which is, I feel like
Right.
normally a sentiment. I feel like that's most years for Battlefield.
Sure.
It's like,
Yeah, I think
at least
that's-
Battlefield 5's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see it happening this year. I almost feel like
Why?
right now Call of Duty has more momentum. I feel like Call of Duty always does, right?
Right,
Call of
but I
Duty
think
will
that
still-
greater momentum, like, just kind of propels that feeling even further, right? Like, the way that we talk about Black Ops 4, there are so many question marks, and so if that falls flat on its face, how could that not be a huge win in the public perception for Battlefield 5, potentially?
Battlefield 5 to me is it's a weird product.
It is
Right?
weird.
What do we have to look forward to for its campaign? I even like for Battlefield 1, that trailer that shows you like riding horses, and Battlefield 1's trailers were really, really good. I don't
Right.
know what to grasp onto for Battlefield 5.
I agree with that.
I like, again, I think it's a marketing issue. It's called 5. It takes place in World War II. We know it has innovative new multiplayer modes, but I mean, maybe the beta will change things, and the beta's still happening in September. But it's hard to sell that. It's hard to sell, hey, this mode's going to change everything until people play it. To me, it's almost a weirder product than Call of Duty without its campaign. Because it's like, Battlefield, what do you care about, dude? What are you focused on? You're not
Right.
focused on your campaign. I don't believe you are.
And I think that feeling was really hammered home, where they'd be like, "Hey, during this press conference, we're going to show off the story," and be like, "Oh, okay, finally." And they show it off, and it's like, "No, I feel just as little."
Yes.
When that happened, yeah.
And I love presentations. I love watching Smash Bros for 45 minutes. I feel like that Trevor Noah thing was one of the worst reveal events I've watched all year long.
That was textbook.
Textbook bad?
How not to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Man, I still think that's what I associate Battlefield 5 with.
Yeah. You got very little right.
It's
Yeah.
weird because I really like Trevor Noah a lot. I enjoy the Daily Show a lot, and yeah, that was bad.
It was just truly
I had
bad.
a lot of fun with the multiplayer.
Sorry?
To just drop something positive on the end of this
do.
discussion.
Yeah.
I just had a blast. I do not spend a lot of time with Battlefield every year. Battlefield 2 was still, I played that game a lot. So like I still have my happy Battlefield memories that I can recall. And I thought that was chaos. And I had a really good time because
Good
when
chaos?
I played Soul Calibur, which we've already talked about at Judges Week and E3, I got annihilated. I was not able to do a whole lot. Like a lot of those games I'm just bad at. Smash Brothers, not able to do a whole lot. Battlefield had a lot of fun. Was able to, take a couple dudes out, was able to get in a vehicle and have that moment where I turned around in a tank, saw that I was in a tank, and we had a little, battle together, flying in a plane, dogfighting over the city at night when it's the snow falling. Like, it's just it's an epic game. But I felt the same way about Battlefront 1 and 2, where like there were a lot of things that were frustrating about that game, but damn it, it's gorgeous and it sounds so good.
Yes, and I guess that's. I think this is just a marketing botch, and I wish that months ago they went in a new direction. It seems like they decided a year ago they had an 8-month plan that they're just sticking to. They're refusing to move aside from this plan in this marketing, and it bums me out that there's no reaction.
Kyle, what Brandon said though makes me think that like a lot of what you're talking about and then I brought up doesn't matter, because I think the core experience of Battlefield multiplayer is still so desired and loved that like even if they mess up a lot of the things surrounding it, if that core is still intact, that's going to be good enough for many, many, many people.
Ben, I think that's what we're just talking about how effective Cyberpunk was last week.
Yeah.
Just showing that game.
Right.
Battlefield could have done that.
Yeah, I
We don't
agree.
need people talking. It's just show that game, show a multiplayer match, and people will come. You'll have 100,000 people if you just showed one match.
I agree, but I think it matters less when so many people are already extremely familiar with it. Like that pressure isn't as on it in the same way. Like you don't have the questions that we've had for these other games where it's like, well, I wonder what it's going to be like. You can kind of take a step back and be like, no, I have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be like, and I enjoy that. I think that's powerful.
One thing, a positive thing to say about it, the graphics, the fidelity.
Oh yeah.
It coming out at this point will be enough time after the new RTX 280 cards come out. So
That's a good point.
Like what I'm looking forward to most of this. So to preface this, I actually had a good time playing through Battlefield 1 when I went through like the whole thing of playing all these games I hadn't played in the year.
Damiani does not play first-person shooters. I did not know you played that.
I enjoyed the campaign for that. So I know they have not shown a lot about Battlefield 5. So a little bit of a question mark of so like, where's the hook? Like, or what's hooking me in yet? Battlefield 1 was a little bit easier. Like, obviously had that hook for me. So, but I still feel that like they did such a good job with Battlefield 1. I'll trust them. Like, especially if Huber comes out and like, dude, it's good. Like, all right, like that and Huber will be like, all right, I'm down for it. I'm not so much into the multiplayer Battlefield, which is the weird, like probably the weird thing about it. However, going back to the visuals, hopefully by this time have that brand new PC built with that brand new graphics card. This game is going to be like one of the premier showcases for like high-end PC graphics when it comes out.
Battlefield is a lot.
And I think it's actually they're pushing it hard. I think that's a bit of like an X factor for this game. And I know that was not the reason for the delay, but added benefit of it moving into November and having extra time is now more people I think will have those cards, have their new PCs built, and we'll get to take that game and see it at like max settings for like on these graphics cards, ray tracing in action, seeing it look at like the best it can look and just being like dazzled by that.
Damiani, so you're in for that card. You're gonna buy that card.
Already have it. Newegg already charged me, apparently.
I pre-ordered it as well.
I pre-ordered a
me
Newegg
too.
and they charged me already. I have it pre-ordered. I also pre-ordered it on NVIDIA's site.
That's
Can't-
where I pre-ordered.
That's their
But
Pop-Tarts.
They don't charge it. I just need to ask. Side note, need to ask anyone here if anyone wants one because they are all sold out.
Nah, dude, I want that expensive
No.
card. Get out of here.
How much
Yeah.
is it?
It's like $1,200.
Whoa!
Yep.
God. Well, we should probably get one for.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
that's
put
what I
it
was
on
gonna
the
say. If
Yeah.
like you can't buy one anymore, if you want one for this,
Let's talk
just-
about it later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Anyway,
yeah.
yes, I'm getting one.
Cool.
But you mentioned something where you're like, I enjoyed Battlefield 1 so much that like I'm willing to give this a chance. I do think there's a lot of goodwill with Battlefield, and I wonder if just the direct comparison of them giving away those maps for free will be another X factor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's an extremely favorable comparison that Huber has talked about a lot, and the more I read about the Black Ops Pass, the more I really agreed with them, and yeah.
We'll
I don't
see.
know. I think
We
it'll be
have we have yet to see how really the monetization is going to work. Like
Correct.
they've told
That's
us,
true.
they've
Yeah.
told us a lot about how it is going to work. You know, you never know until you see it in practice.
The annual skirmish between Battlefield and Call of Duty, to me, it's at its most interesting point in
Semi-annual
2018.
now, but yeah,
Where I'm just like, what's going to happen?
yes,
You know, who's going to outsell who? What are these modes are going to be?
Yeah.
Where's it going to falter? Where's it going to succeed? I have no idea.
I think if you
I
asked
would
me
not bet on it if it was Vegas.
2 years ago, I was feeling like, man, Battlefield's really catching up on Call of Duty. I don't think it's happening this year. I think there's gonna be a dip on November 27th. Darksiders 3. Uh-oh.
What?
I don't know, man. Darksiders 3, the end of November. I'm not feeling good for it.
It
Oh,
does
just
feel like
sales.
a weird time for this game.
Yeah.
It needs a
Yeah.
little more.
This,
Momentum.
I mean, every season feels like it's crowded now, but Darksiders 3 to me feels like a great January game.
Yes. I mean, and well,
Still
January is
time to
kind.
delay it.
There's still time. Yeah, there's still much time. And what's interesting about this release is I think it is, since THQ Nordic became THQ Nordic, I think this is their biggest release, no question. I think this is basically what everything has been leading up to. They've published many games, maybe 50 at this point, but this is the big one. This is the big, okay, we bought this franchise, we're bringing it back, we're
Right.
doing a new sequel, we're making it bigger and better, here it is. And I feel like THQ Nordic has a lot riding on this.
I do feel like you do have the bringing it back aspect, which I think is always very powerful. And two, like Darksiders 1 and 2 have not only been around for a while, they've been extremely accessible. Like you can play Darksiders 1 and 2 on like almost anything.
Yeah.
And they've been free a lot depending on, you know, what services you have. Like I wonder if that will help. Like I wonder if just the ease of access for Darksiders will give Darksiders 3 an unexpected boost.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's always that chance, right? What is a good example of a movie where the first one didn't do great, but then like, a lot of people watched it and then the sequel explodes?
This is like a Brandon Jones question.
There's like a totally like good
Terminator 1 and
example
2
of
is the only
this.
thing I can think of. Terminator 2 made way more money than 1, but
Yeah, where like it builds a cult following, and then by the second one it's huge. But then also there's like, you know, Anchorman 2, where it's like, yeah, and then a lot of build up, and then we put out the sequel, and it's like, hey, we don't like this anymore. I do think Darksiders 3 is way different from Darksiders 2, enough that it's modernized, and enough that it's not like it doesn't fit in today's landscape. I'm just nervous about them getting that attention, about it, how much money they're gonna have to spend on marketing, and then like, I don't know. I feel like if it's not 80 or above on Metacritic, it just gets buried. That's what I'm most concerned about. And I know we shouldn't talk about Metacritic scores, but I mean that as a generalization. If it doesn't review very well,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard for this game to get attention.
Yeah. I kind of agree. It feels like below an 80 is not a death sentence, I guess, but yeah, I agree. It would affect us a lot.
I feel like this is a game that I think they announced they were so excited that they were able to bring it back to life to continue the Darksiders series. I really feel like that outweighed the benefit of maybe holding off on announcing this closer to release, because I feel like we've known about this for a long time.
that announcement was the best part.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
the-
we were
it was-
so
it was the
excited,
high of the
like,
whole
oh,
campaign,
good,
and we
this
haven't come
series
back to
gets
that.
another
You're
chance.
right.
There was like not really a campaign, but a lot of people pushing for it, like, you know, offers, like hey, we'll like buy the studio people who got laid off back at old THQ, like when their studio was like shuttered, like, hey, come, you know, like we'll try and make it happen, blah blah blah. And it culminated with like, hey, THQ Nordic exists now, and we got the assets, you know, we got the rights, we're bringing it back. And it's been just a long way. I hate that. Like this game would have benefited, I think, a lot more by that shorter lead time going into it. Even if it doesn't get bumped from this, it would have done better if like it was announced like at E3, like E3, Darksiders 3 coming back. No, like we got it back, and it's coming out this November. I think we'd be a little bit more excited about it.
I think that's an
I
excellent
think
point.
that like the
Yeah.
awareness about it would be
Yeah.
like much higher, especially how kind of weaker November is, I would say, this year than other like Novembers.
You know what? I'll let you have that.
Like those
I
games
will
aren't going to sell
absolutely
well,
have
but
that.
like in terms of like blockbuster like name
Yes.
grabbing, it's like Fallout maybe it could go either way, and Battlefield, like even Pokemon Let's Go, it's like it's Let's Go Pokemon. It's not like
Man.
the mainline Pokemon.
I feel like probably like pretty much everything we've talked about in November is, wow, this could go either way.
yeah. I mean, Damiani, I think like Spyro will be huge. I do think Fallout.
I
will
think
be huge.
Spyro is the safest bet
Yeah.
on that list.
I'm
for,
just
like,
talking about like
quality.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about December. Not a lot of releases in December. I plucked 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Jones, you know this one? What am I about to say?
December 4th?
Yeah.
Just Cause 4.
Nice. You remember the date, dude.
Just
Yeah, Just Cause 4 is coming out on December 4th. I
This
think that's
is
a good
what
December
you
release.
just said,
Yes.
Damiani, that where it's like, oh, it's happening? Whoa, this year? Whoa,
Yes.
oh, great. December is for me is I can't say what that's going to do for this series. I can't say how that's going to benefit Square Enix from putting it on that there in the calendar. But just for me personally, perfect timing.
We definitely haven't had time to get tired of that game.
Gives me a full month to just soak up all Red Dead and all the crazy online stuff, and then just right before the holidays, getting this goofy game that seems like there were things about 3 that disappointed me, but it seems like it's just they're kind of picking up where that left off. Like they really took they said they built a whole new engine for this, but it feels a lot like 3. And the trick with Just Cause and the problem that I ran into with 3 is there were a lot of tools that they gave me, and with 2 maybe I just didn't know a lot about 2 before I played it, but there was so much discovery in 2. There was so much like, can I do this? Oh, I can.
Yeah.
And in 3 there was a lot of like, oh, can I do that? That's neat. And then I never did it again, and every single time I like approached an area, I was not like, I'm gonna finesse this. It was like, no, I want to get further in the story, and so I'm going to try to do my best here and use the tools I know are going to be effective, and not so much like, I'm going to surf on a jet just cause. It's like, no, that's fun, but maybe the first 1 or 2 times I do that,
So
I'm
4,
kind of
you
over
feel
it.
more inclined to experiment?
It just seems like the world is going to be more interesting to experience in increments as it goes along, like having this battle line that is constantly moving across the field, like having just watching all the weather effects just rip this world apart. I think is going to be visually satisfying, and just adds a sense of randomness. Like I imagine like being right in the middle of a mission and just aiming on one side of the helicopter and then being like, okay, time to go, oh, tornado, just like accidentally like, okay, I died there, but that was fun. It just seems a little more variables and more less focus on like, no, this story's gonna be super serious this time because Rico's going home. It's like, no, don't worry about it.
'Cause, Jones,
Here's the bad guy. Don't focus on that too much. It's weather. It's this war.
That's it, Jones. I actually think it has something to hang its hat on. It has something that we can pin it on. We can say, this is what makes 4 different. It's the weather stuff. It's the insane tornadoes. And I think that is so important for a video game, not from a gameplay standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, just to have a thing, just to have a huge different thing. That makes the game slightly more exciting than 3 or 4 without tornadoes. Like it's hard to imagine what we would be talking about if it wasn't those things.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a value for the game and something to note. It's something for other designers just from your first meeting, your first pitch of, hey, give us millions so we can make this, is like have that hook, have that something.
It's like in one of the demos, he like put some stuff on a crate, the balloons, and so the crate lifted, and then he like put a jet behind it so it was moving, and it's like,
the Breath of the
so now
Wild
I'm traveling through this world on a really slow crate.
Yeah.
That's oh my god, dude. It's
was a
like,
nod.
okay, it's creative and fun, and it's neat in 2018 that we're here, that we can put these silly things into games. But like for this game, that on the Xbox 360, I was clinging to the upside down of an F-18 and crashing it into a mountain.
Was
It's
that the
like,
one with the
you
demo?
gotta-
Was it 2 that had the demo?
I can't remember. I know somebody had this incredible mod that I never played for 2 that I think had 64 players, 32 or something. It was some big crazy multiplayer Just Cause mode on PC.
I remember walking to your office and you were playing Just Cause 2, and it was like Little Kid Jones. It was nice.
And
Very nice.
I captured a little bit of that with 3, but it just didn't have staying power. And so I'm hoping, I'm curious what they really ended up focusing on, and how big the campaign is, and how fun the world is to explore. And biomes is a big thing they're focusing on now. And so like 3 was great, but it was mostly tropical. And so it'd be fun to get up in the mountains, get some deep snow, get in the desert with sandstorms, and Yeah.
You know what
Snow.
though? I've realized through this conversation,
Snow baby.
I feel bad for saying to Darksiders 3, like, hey, too soon, bud, too close in November, when this is just a week later. Darksiders 3 is at least once the worst of it is over in November. You know, like, it's not a bad release date. You know, it is just 1 week before Just Cause and 1 week before December. So, yeah, I get it.
But just imagine we get to December, everybody's exhausted. Oh, you're already pre-ordered Smash. You're in or you're out on that game. You know you're doing it. And I just think we complete a lot of these single-player games, or we've kind of like maybe not focusing on these multiplayer games that come out in October and November. And I would not be surprised if I see a lot of people at the beginning of December, right for the holidays, are like, yeah, Just Cause for sure, fine. Yeah, I'll pick that up.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it.
I just hope Darksiders gets some of that too, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Darksiders won't have a snow tornado.
It will not have a snow tornado.
Let's talk about a franchise
well-
that is setting itself up for
Well, maybe.
for
Yeah,
a
it might
fourth.
have a snow tornado.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be really sad if this is the end of Darksiders. We
Oh,
never
'cause
get
of the
that.
horse
We're
Right.
fourth.
delaying
Yeah.
Darksiders 3
I haven't played any of
to
these games, and I'm
February
still
to
kinda
implement
hyped on
a snow
a fourth
tornado
Darksiders.
system.
Pre-order bonus, snow tornado.
Yeah.
The last game I've written down for December, on December 7th, we will see the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
So,
Okay.
Pop-Tart with the asterisk by it.
What?
You
No
can't do that.
asterisks.
No. It's a Pop-Tart or not, man.
Oh, it. I don't know.
This whole
can
podcast
explain
is an
this.
asterisk.
Okay,
Yeah.
explain it. We'll
So-
you know what? We'll qualify it. We'll say what kind of Pop-Tart
There's
this
a
is.
mode that has not been revealed yet, and there's a lot of hints in the trailers that basically point to, if you believe all the evidence, there will be the spirits thing is weird. A story, like an actual adventure story mode that everyone keeps calling spiritual. I think Nintendo trolled everyone. I think they knew people would decode that image and
No,
put
they
it
did
out there.
not. No, it's
Yeah, they
called
did.
Spirits.
We are now a Smash conspiracy theory.
Yeah, lock that in.
podcast,
It's called
yeah.
Spirits. There's no way they.
Kyle's
they-
like, lock it in. It's called
They could change
Spirits.
that title really easily,
Oh, yeah.
though.
Yeah, but they wouldn't. That's called Spirits. Just bank it. Bank it right now. It's called Spirits.
It's-
Anyway, continue.
I don't like the theory behind
So
it.
your opinion, your Pop-Tartiness relies on whether that's cool.
It looks, everything looks really good about it.
Yep.
But that story mode, if there's a story adventure mode, would just push it over the edge. Like, that would drive me into like hype levels for this game. I know there's been criticism leverage about why aren't the LAs like more excited about Smash Brothers and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I've seen people like the desire
Dude, I'm
index.
excited for
There's
Smash.
like comments
Are you-
about our
are you
placement
paying
of it on the
attention?
desire index.
Let me
it was
check.
not. It was in our bottom 10. It's not in like our top 5
It is
or
number.
something.
It is number 13 on the.
There
Desire
you go.
Index.
See,
It is
it's
number
not
13.
even-
Okay,
Desire
come on.
Index.
As
That's
somebody who's
pretty
been on the
high.
Desire Index thing
That's
one
pretty
time,
high.
I feel like the Desire Index is an imperfect representation of our excitement levels for all 9 allies.
No, it's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so
It is
I
beneath
disagree.
control. I think it should be higher than control.
You shut
we-
your mouth.
we don't really need to dive into that, but basically,
Look, we'll sort the desire index out in a week
yeah, we
or
don't need to
two
talk
on
about. I didn't
Easy
even
Up.
open
This
that
is
Pandora's
upsetting.
box, but adventure mode. I just really want that to come back.
It's gonna be
And
so good, dude.
That would be like more than like a cherry on the top. It'd be like Smash is like the ice cream. Like the entire Sunday would be the adventure mode part of it. Like all like the banana split part, the hot fudge, the whipped cream, the cherry nuts. Like that's adventure mode. To
And
me.
then multiplayer is just a tiny little cherry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you that it would be incredibly exciting, and I'd be pumped for it.
Multiverse
But
with ice
even
cream.
without it entirely,
Okay, all right.
like Smash Ultimate
Oh, yeah.
would still be a pop
Oh
tart
yeah,
for me.
but like I'm like vying with all these other games. That for me was what will put it over the edge
okay.
for any other game on this list.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous for you, Damiani. I don't want you to be hurt.
Lot riding on Spirits.
That video they created for the reveal of King K. Rool, that like opening, that was like 100% a story mode like thing. Those nice like hand drawn like things they did. I was like, no, they won't go to that much effort.
I
just for
truly
direct.
believe those will not be part of the story
Also,
mode.
the Monster Hunter Rathalos is
Yes.
like a boss environment. That's
Yes.
that's
and
not
Dracula,
a stage.
what, you know?
Dracula
Yeah.
has a
Yeah.
boss fight. Like there is clear stuff there. That's like, what is this? I mean, it might not be literally adventure mode, but there's some kind of like campaign style event that's going to be in this game.
But to me, the CG trailers are so meticulously designed to be reveals of characters that I don't think they're the same as cutscenes in an adventure mode. They're trailers. They're some of the best trailers you
there
can
was
ever
a
watch.
prelude to the CG part of the King K. Rool part that was the, like, I don't think it's in like the YouTube video of just King K. Rool.
Yeah, man, it's part of the reveal trailer. It's genius. It's showing the enemies. It's showing the worst enemies of each Smash character. It's like, where's Donkey Kong's enemy? It's here he is. That's a sell of the reveal. It's not a sell of cutscene.
I think that's part of the CG trailer for the CG video that's gonna play at the beginning of Spirits mode.
No.
Ian's
ready to move on.
No,
We shall.
Jones, I am curious. What you rated the trailer, right? The Castlevania one.
Yeah.
What'd you give it?
Oh, why you ask me? I'm tired. I don't know.
Is it above a 9?
Yeah, it was
I think
above
we
a
were
9.
all above
Okay.
the 9.
Yeah.
Cool.
You gave it 10, I believe.
You did. I
Oh,
stand
we
by
did.
that.
We just did. Yeah, we just did Simon.
You give that a 10?
Yeah, I
It's a
gave it
10. That is
Thank
a 10
you.
trailer. Absolutely.
That's the thing. Is like, okay, you have all the characters in there. That's already a pretty good sell.
Oh, yeah.
Then you add Ridley.
yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Okay. And then you add King K. Rool, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And then you add Simon and Richter, and you're like, well, this is a train we're on.
Yeah.
Don't
And
stop.
there's more to come.
Yeah, and there's more to come.
Oh, there's more to come.
Like, yes, Spirits sounds great, but
Yeah.
this has already been a pretty damn awesome ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other small thing.
Okay, you
Can we,
about to
can we
drop
get?
a rumor
Can we
on
get?
us? What do you got?
No, not rumors.
Okay.
Ask.
An ask.
Can we get more than 2 Final Fantasy songs, please, Square Enix?
No.
There's just 2 Final Fantasy 7 songs. That laundry list of songs for every franchise. Then Final Fantasy 7. Just put the in-game music. I don't care what it is.
Okay, pro tip.
Oh.
All right. Have a suggestion for you.
Okay.
All right, you're playing Smash on your Switch.
Okay, here we go.
Okay? You turn the volume all the way down.
I'll one up you, man. What if I install
on
a
YouTube.
custom version of Smash Brothers and put my own music in it?
Hack your Switch, bro. It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
We are running way late. Ian, do you sing too?
Every time, baby.
I didn't. I just the first time I realized you're singing over there. I
I take
appreciate
the
that.
high part usually.
Yeah, it's nice. I got one. We'll do one quickie. Hi, allies. I only recently found you all on YouTube, and it has been a joy going through your podcast while I'm working. I've got a few questions. Where did the use of the word jolly come from? I've never heard it used so casually and often as the Easy A crew uses it. That's Michael Huber.
Well,
Yeah, he says crew like we all throw it out all the time. Like clearly he must have
and chill.
or they must have heard it from.
But people
it's
say
an
chill.
infection.
One
Nobody
person.
says jolly.
Yeah.
Jolly is derived, I believe, from Dark Souls because Solaire talks about jolly cooperation. I
don't think that's true.
Yeah, because
I mean that's
That's an
where
easy A myth.
that's where jolly co-op came from. But like, I wonder if that's where Huber got it.
because when I met Huber's former college roommate at his wedding,
He
I was
said
talking
jolly
to him,
too?
he's like, "Yeah, jolly."
all right.
Origins here.
What
Yeah.
if it's a school
right.
thing? Like
Yeah.
like their school just had
It
like
could have
a,
been school thing.
a slang
I
for
specifically
jolly.
recall a conversation with my wife Amanda Troop where I said jolly and she was like, "You're running out of uses of that word." She's like,
I know.
every time you say jolly, it means less and less every time. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
but-
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard Huber said it, and he said it like that Huber way, like jolly, and he just like really leaned into the word. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't hear anyone say this,
Yeah.
ever. This is the most charming thing. How does it not just infect you?
Yeah.
It just becomes a part of you.
So that's the origin for
His
sure.
his use of chill though doesn't work over text with people who don't know our vernacular because like I just said to someone I responded with something chill, and they
Oh,
thought I
no.
was telling them to
Yeah.
chill.
Chill.
And I was like, oh no, like cool, like good. And they're like, what? And I was, oh. You don't know Michael Huber?
You guys have also.
Needs to be a
chill.
reply.
I say no worries all the time. That is an Easy A thing. I don't know who started that, but
I say that all the time.
Yeah,
I say
that is
That's
that is
like a
said like
West
once
Coast
a day.
thing, I think.
Number 2, I say little pig.
Oh,
Is that an easy A
Stop.
thing?
That
Number
has
2,
become.
what's the deal
No,
with
it's not.
what's the deal with the toy and song it plays during Love and Respect? Great question. I love answering any new questions to somebody who's just hopping in because I realize all of this is terribly confusing. This is Rufus. He was named Rufus, I think, by Michael Huber, actually. He is a McDonald's toy. He's a Furby. This was a Tiger Electronics line of McDonald's toys. It is a blue Furby who's got a saxophone. He's got a little hat and sunglasses. He looks like a jazz musician. His tune, not quite jazz, but to me, it was such a strange toy. I had to hold on to it. I said, someday this will have a use. And when we started the segment Love and Respect, I said, this is my time to strike. Rufus, well, this Furby, this strange Furby, came out. It's meant to be nothing. It's meant to be goofy. It's meant to mean nothing. And it does. Number
Was
3.
that
It
at
means something
GT?
now. That's the beautiful thing about
Yeah.
meaning in life.
Yeah.
Is you attach it to things that would otherwise have none.
I think we only had like 2 or 3 GT times with Love and Respect. It was really close to the end before we all got fired is when we introduced Rufus in that segment title.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, it was toward the end.
It's getting to the point, and not to short credit the other allies who I think contribute a lot, but like when I really think back on the way that we talk and our style and everything, it's like, wow, that's like 80% Huber. Like Huber is really most of this.
Yep.
This
He really
kind of
wedges
blanket.
himself in there.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
just this kind of blanket of attitude. I think
I just
really comes from him.
I just texted him and asked him the origins of him saying jolly.
Okay.
And he responded to me. He goes, "I honestly have no idea."
How many O's? How many O's?
4 O's. And then I said, pre Dark Souls, you don't know? And he goes, not even a slight guess, haha.
But that's Huber. You know,
yeah,
is
yeah.
he's the kind of person when you're like, yeah, that time that you said that thing, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He
Yeah.
just kind of just goes moment to
Do I
moment.
say Jolly? Is that my thing?
Yeah,
exactly.
But he confirms it was 100% pre Dark Souls.
Cool.
Okay.
Last question. Do you have a favorite artist? I'm talking the drawing and painting type here, but any kind is cool. Love and respect from a new fan, Ion What?
Right on. Thank you for finding us. Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah. Favorite artist is such a hard question to answer. I feel like all my favorite artists are musical artists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
music
sorry,
I
we're
can
not
answer.
just talking about the drawing.
You know, like I feel like that's the direction it should be in, but like, hey, if you don't
Didn't
have
they
a favorite,
say visual?
but any kind is cool is how that ends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
That makes it a lot more complicated.
I have 2 Star Wars answers. Well, Ralph McQuarrie's rad. He designed a lot of the stuff in
Yes,
Star
Jones,
Wars,
that's such a good pick, man.
If you just Google Ralph McQuarrie, you'll have a good time.
what a visionary man. Like
There
that
is
stuff
one other
crazy.
guy. There's another weird person named Ralph McQuarrie who did something else. But I got to see my favorite artist in any medium in the world
You have a great answer. Locked and loaded for
this
this
weekend.
Yes.
At the Hollywood Bowl, Mr. John Williams. At the 40th anniversary at the Bowl.
So I'm sorry. Does he
Yeah.
still
First
compose?
played the Bowl in 1978. Still playing there. And keep in mind, like 78 is when he. It's just crazy. It's
I'm
like
sorry. Conduct. Does he still conduct?
He still conducts. Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay,
did.
cool.
Somebody came out. They had another. David Newman came out, who also is an accomplished film composer. Came out and played the beginning part. And I asked someone who was not in our friend group because we're just kind of like drinking wine, socializing before the show starts. And some guy I was like, "What's David Newman? Who is that?" And some guy's like, "He's like the anesthesia." Person at the dentist's office. Like he comes in and cleans the teeth like before, and then the dentist comes in. He's kind of like that for this concert. Like he's gonna come in and just play a couple John Williams tunes, and then John Williams is gonna come out and like do the rest of the show.
That's bizarre. And then did the vibes change? Same music, different composers, and obviously the person who composed it. Different conductors. So did the vibes change when John Williams stepped out?
No, it was the same. It was very, very jolly. He talked about John a lot, and
Okay.
Spielberg was there. He gave some fun stories and some great context.
Jones, I gotta
they
tell
showed
you-
the beginning of Last Crusade without music, which was awesome. And then we're like, okay, he's like, this is what I give John, and then he's like, and then here's what he gives us, and then they play.
Oh, that's fun, like
with
a little
live
educational.
accompaniment. And
I watched Ready Player One. I don't believe in Steven Spielberg anymore. He directed that movie.
well, that's
Yeah,
why
I've
Williams
felt
is my
that way.
favorite artist.
Okay.
Because even an artist like the Coen brothers, who I think have done very little wrong in their entire career, who
Yeah.
continually amaze me. I just saw No Country for Old Men like the 6th time the other day, and that's just like actors just beating the crap out of each
Perfect
other and never
film.
say, "I'm a better actor. I'm
That's
a
a
better actor.
perfect
I'm a
film.
better actor."
Yeah.
I mean, they do such a good job of just writing like totally different things, but they've made like 1 or 2 really bad movies. Like they have faltered in their career, and I cannot for the life of me think of a score Williams has written, and I'm like, that's trash. I'm like, nah, skip that one.
yeah. What's he do now?
He's going to do episode 9. He's doing
Star Wars still.
But that's
Man.
it, right?
He's still going
You
at
know
it.
what I'm saying?
When he did 7, he's like, I'm done. And then he's like, fine, I'll do 8 and 9. Because he wrote like Ray's theme and a couple other things. And he's like, I don't want somebody else to come in and continue this. I want to put my stamp on it, and then I'm done. And then I'm
Nice.
walking away. And the guy's in his 80s. Like he's just I really, really try to not use the word genius that often.
Yeah.
John Williams is a genius. There's no question. He is the best at what he does.
Timeless stuff, man.
It's still around.
And it's
I
still
feel so
so
blessed.
it's like iconic every single time, just above and beyond what anyone else is capable of. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy how uniquely talented he is.
This Reddit thread can't think of a single bad score he's done.
Is that what the thread is titled?
I'm Googling. The question is
What's
just,
a bad Williams
has he
score?
ever done a bad score? And people are like, no.
That's cool.
He's done some bad movies, but his score
Right,
was the
right.
best thing
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
bad movie.
Do we have any other artists who are our favorite artists?
There are three that come to mind.
Okay,
They're all musicians and they're all women.
great.
And I can't really throw the John Williams argument out there where it's like, oh man, they've never done anything bad. Like I think all of them have done things that I've cared for a lot less. But when I listen to music, I tend not to get too attached to the lyrics because they just don't register with me that much. Whereas like all three of these artists, the words that they wrote down and the ways that they were like able to convey emotion shook me. Like really just like pick you up off the ground and shake you and be like, holy shit, that's profound. And I would throw the genius label at all these artists, and that's PJ Harvey, Joni Mitchell, and Fiona Apple.
I knew Fiona would be in there, baby. Yeah.
These are good picks, Ben.
Yeah.
Good
I
response.
want a new Fiona Apple album so bad. I
17 years.
think the Idler Wheel
Oh,
is my perfect album. Like I cannot find a single fault with that album. It like punches me in the gut every time that I've listened to it, and I've worn that thing out, man. Like I've listened to it so much, and it just the places she goes. Oh,
Same,
Cool.
Ben.
Yeah.
Same.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's your same favorite artist, Ian?
Oh, I just think Fiona and that album are so good.
Do you have a favorite artist?
I mean, as far as music, I like Agnes Obel a lot. I like for video game scores, Jessica Curry. I really like her.
I'm sorry, Agnes Obel is the person who's like has the concert this month, right?
Yeah, that I can't go to because of Hall of the Grades.
You're doing a Hall of Grades instead of one of your favorite artists?
Yes, my job.
Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, I'll give you the time off. If you ask me, I would give you the time off. I'll do
Boss
it.
man.
I can't. I mean, I can't miss Hall of the Greats. It's Hall of the damn Greats. You
No,
guys
if-
are gonna pick something stupid.
If one of my favorite, we will. If one of my favorite artists is in town, I mean, Hall of Greats does not usurp that opportunity.
She's opening for the, which I didn't know he was still doing stuff. That's crazy.
I don't know who the is.
The is an old guy, and he was on Nothing Records or whatever back in the day, but he did like dark folk kind of singer.
Yeah, I think it's like where were they going without ever
Oh,
knowing
God damn
the
it.
way? Oh, Damiani, who's your favorite artist?
What?
Who's your favorite artist?
Not that. When I segue there.
I can see the road that.
That's fastball. Stop it.
I'm pretty sure that's the.
You can put that song in my head now.
The is like, if you can't change the world, change yourself. I can't remember the
Now you
melody,
just put like
but
the song "Runaway Train" in my head for some reason.
that's a good one. I used
It
to
is
listen to
good.
that song on cassette and like feel really sad as like an 8-year-old.
Damiani, your favorite artist. I know
So-
you thought of one. It's in your head right now.
So let's do. I'll do actual like artist to draw.
Sure.
Let's do. Gotta give shout outs to Amano. Your shout out.
Yeah, I was
Like
hoping you were
one of the,
gonna
one of
get
the
them on
things I've like a friend of mine and I like we talk about online a lot. In fact, like I think last week we were talking about it on our on Discord was about how we have this like really strong passionate need for there to be a Final Fantasy game that looks like Amano's artwork.
Oh,
Seems
just
impossible
once,
almost,
just
you know?
once,
Yes.
just one of them. Just do it
they're
once.
going to announce it in the 20s.
Like
The
because
2020s for sure.
That artwork and seeing like a world or environment and realizing that it'd be nice to say wow again at at an environment or just like the aesthetic of a Final Fantasy game. They've kind of been all like since I think 12 they've kind of gone in a direction which they still look good, but that I think they haven't veered too much from that aesthetic for the mainline games. Like even 14 look like 15, 14, 13, 12, like they reused the models. It's all like it's been like this I'm just kind of it's like played out at this
Wait,
point.
what models did they reuse in 12? What do you mean?
Oh, they've reused models since like Final Fantasy 10. Like enemy models, like what? You want to know? So
Drop some knowledge. Drop some trivia.
okay, so the specific ones. So a lot of the 12 bosses appear in Final Fantasy 14 as reused boss assets, and that
Sure.
a lot of the remedial stuff. Final Fantasy 10, some of the enemy models in there. They've been carried over like the bombs.
Oh, like grenade guys? Yeah,
like a lot of them, but not just like the standard ones.
That's just
like
design.
like
I used to believe it's a
Orochi.
character model. Really?
Oh, character models. I mean, Not exactly, but I mean,
Grenades are chocobos, man. You gotta have grenades and cactars. That's not like carrying the character models through game to game.
If I had more time, like to like go pull it up on the internet and stuff,
Yeah.
I could like show you a lot more of the models because like everyone who plays like especially like in 14 is like, well, that's from 12, that's from 13, well that's from Final Fantasy 10. Like the reusing assets joke is in there a lot, but they've carried on throughout those games. But this is kind of like not the important tangent.
Right,
the important thing is
Favorite
like
artist,
I want
yes.
to talk about like
Yes.
I'd like to say WoW again to an environment because I feel like it's just been so samey for a long time.
Yes.
I definitely need to say cannot say enough about Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
works at Studio Ghibli, just I think when he came to Comic-Con, he must have hated it because he really hates commercialism, and he is very, even though Ghibli makes decent money off Totoro merchandise, hates like the licensing part of it. Like they don't really want to do it. Like in fact,
For good reason.
with Disney,
Yeah.
like was like you cannot do that with our stuff when you distribute our movies. When he appeared at Comic-Con in Hall H, when you used to be able to get into Hall H, I think it was like one of like the emotions that came over me, like seeing him like in person and stuff, and like the ovation he got. It was just like his films like really mean a lot to me. So that distinction, I know like I make fun of like Dragon Ball and stuff, like Akira Toriyama stuff, but like
Yeah,
you could tell a Miyazaki thing, and then like it's been emulated. Like people have tried to succeed Ghibli and Miyazaki's
You do
work.
see a lot of
They
copycats,
try
for sure,
and
yeah.
copy that because it's like it's a wave of nostalgia. Like people grew up with that, or that's like their favorites. They don't want to see it go away. And it's just a very distinct look, I think, in Japanese animation.
The thing for me, and I don't know if you agree with this, Damiani, but it just never lost its touch. I remember seeing Wind Rises in the theater and tearing up, not just because it was Miyazaki, but because of how emotionally effective that story was.
That's a very intense movie.
Yeah.
It is. I just like the way him and everyone who's worked under him like bring worlds to life in there.
Yes.
It's
There's a comfort to me in every
Yeah.
environment he's ever constructed. I'm just like, God, I want to live there. Oh, look at all those details. Oh, rewind that whole scene because I got to look at that other wall that I was not even looking at because I was looking at their desk or out the window at the town, and just like such a fantastic sense of place.
really, yeah. It's just a different league. And finally, these just came to mind, and I know they're all like guys and stuff. Like I can think of a lot more diverse choices here, but like I want to give shout outs to Soken of the Final Fantasy 14 composer, because he took over for Uematsu. And Nobu Uematsu gets most of the credit for Final Fantasy's music and his compositions, but Soken has taken the reins for 14 soundtrack, and besides Smash Brothers, which will sadly oust Final Fantasy 14 as like the largest soundtrack.
Sadly, it's gonna be a sad day when it outs 14.
Like 900 plus songs. They got to throw in like 650 songs. It's like
Sure.
insane. But like the consistency, not everything is a phenomenal composition, but just for 5 years, still composing tracks. The most recent one, for the most recent boss fight, one of the boss fights, it's called Wayward Daughter, and it actually just took #1 from the fan polls of like for the past 5 years, like
Of all Final
of
Fantasy.
all the songs.
Gotcha.
And like they have like, I know not everyone follows 14 like I do, but like even you, Kyle, when we put on the soundtrack that one time, you're like,
good stuff, yeah.
all right, I don't even don't care about the game, like the music for that. And I think if you just played for anyone, they'd be like, oh, it's another like, you know, Nobuo Uematsu work. And not, like, Uematsu's a legend, but to come in and deliver that as well, like, plus the guy's personality, like jokes around, like he showed up on their 5th anniversary stream, and like they're called Namazu, but they're like these like little fish looking wobbly people. He like dressed up as it for like this 14-hour stream, sitting there doing 8-bit remixes of his songs and stuff. Like
Straight?
what?
14 hours straight?
I mean, they did a 14-hour broadcast.
Okay, but he wasn't there composing music for 14
Oh no
hours. Gotcha.
But like seeing him doing that, like he does all these joke bits and stuff, like he just
Good guy.
yeah. Shout outs.
That was the shortest question I had on my list. It turned into a big
Yeah.
old sloppy
Yeah.
Joe. I'm happy about it. You know what I mean? We had some interesting answers.
I love it.
Can we throw in one more mention?
Please.
Just Yoji Shinkawa.
It sounds like Ian
Yeah.
has one too.
Does
I would
it-
love to. Same thing. I'd love to see a game closer to Yoji Shinkawa.
I just like obviously we have a big love for Metal Gear, but just
Yeah.
even away from all of that, Yoji Shinkawa has done incredible work.
It's nuts that Metal Gear Solid is the closest to Shinkawa's art.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Right.
Ian, you had one more?
Oh, I
Sony
I
has as
had
well.
had to mention Tom Waits and yeah, Coen Brothers are like my favorites too.
Who composes all Castlevania's good music?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's her name? It's like Kojima as well, right?
It is. Her last name's Kojima.
That's why I'm forgetting the first name.
I knew it at one time. I knew it
Okay.
Yeah.
in my life.
That series is music.
Ian's on it.
Ian, Ian.
My favorite artist for sure is Jim
Oh,
Davis.
sorry.
Really?
That's Symphony of Night,
Ayami-
Symphony of Night's composer.
Ayami Kojima?
But yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yes. They're both you brought up though, Ian. Fantastic. You also brought up Michiru Yamane. Sorry.
Cool. It is time for bets. Next week's bet, NBA 2K19 and NBA Live 19, as we said, are releasing on the same day, Friday, September 7th. I'm going to Amazon.com. I'm going to look at the video game section, look at the top sellers. By ranking, what will the gap be between the best-selling versions of both games? What's that gap, Jones?
18.
Did you say the games?
Yeah, NBA 2K
okay.
Live,
I
NBA
missed it.
2K19, NBA Live 19. Ben?
Yeah, I don't know. I picked 5.
Ooh.
Damiani?
I even thought mine was too low. 20. All those GTA 5 versions.
My bet is 14.
Ooh.
Ian, what's your
Yeah,
bet?
what you got?
I said 6.
Loopy.
Well, let me lock those in. Dragon Quest XI was the subject of last week's bet, which we released today, September 4th. It's been out in Japan over a year. There was reason to believe that if I went to GameFAQs.com, I would find an FAQ/guide for Dragon Quest XI. And our bet was about how many words, what would the word count be for the most popular guide of Dragon Quest XI on GameFAQs.com. Jones, you bet 20K word count. Brad bet 50K. Huber bet 16K. I bet 15,450. Ian bet 22K. There are 0 guides. There is no guide.
Oh, that's sad.
Nobody has written a guide for Dragon Quest XI.
I feel like it's just a sign of the times. Does
Yeah.
GameFAQs even get that many? Like,
It does. Game
they?
is still really good, dude. It's still really
no.
I
resourced.
feel like Japanese guides on GameFAQs though is not like a thing. Like not a common thing.
I thought it was because maybe it's Bloodworth skewed me when he talks about, hey, we imported it and we all just worked together and we got that guide done. And so maybe that's where I had this frame of mind where it's just like, yeah, somebody's played that
YouTube,
entire
man.
game.
I think everyone just puts them on YouTube. And
YouTube
people-
killed the FAQ star.
At least for import stuff, I think that's like the best place to go, and maybe a Discord channel.
Man. So who knows how long it'll take until somebody writes that first FAQ. You can be the first. I saw if you go there right there, you search it, it's like you can be the first. You listening, you could be the first person.
Would,
writing
I
an FAQ
have a
for
question
this.
for you.
Yes.
You checked both the PC and PS4 Dragon Quest? Okay,
Yeah, man.
making sure. Might have actually
Because
just
PC
one.
is new, right? PC has not been out a year. That's like.
But the
Right,
boards
yeah,
have been
that's-
active, so like
Yeah.
they have separate FAQ.
But there's a silver lining to this story. Who won the bet?
Myself.
Yeah.
Kyle Bossman.
Kyle.
That brings Red Grouse is 12 points. Gorgeous Gorillas 16. Droopy Eagles 11. Switcher Snake 6. Let me tell you a little bit more about patreon.com/easyallies. I mentioned briefly when we talked about how we have submissions for Recruit Me and Love and Respect. That is also, if you are a $5 patron and up, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get that on Wednesdays instead of Fridays where everyone else gets it. That is the audio version. That's a video version. However you want to watch or ingest this podcast, we won't judge. So yeah, check out patreon.com/easyallies. It's now time to see if Leyland survived without us.
Lizard villain.
He's dead.
Every time.
Teleported too high.
He tried to go sideways.
You teleported into the earth and died.
Yeah.
He moved along the Z.
I now have the right and responsibility to share my Twitter handle with the world, promote any Easy Eyes video I'd like to promote, get the final word, anything I've disagreed with, and I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. At Kyle Boston's my Twitter handle. I made a video this week about, I reviewed every Spider-Man costume. And so that'll be up on Friday. That is me going through each and every costume in the game, giving it a score. And I mean, if you're into if you want to be exposed to all the costumes in the game, it's kind of a good video because you get to see them all. You know, it's not just like dumb jokes from me. It's,
You know who liked that video, Kyle?
who liked that video?
Daniel Bloodworth.
He did. He was like,
did.
hey, I think he even said dude. Yeah,
Dude,
I think he
coming from
said
Bloodworth?
dude. Yes.
Wow, that's like blood hype levels right there. No
Did he
joke.
just say dude? No. I think he said like really good job, dude. I'm gonna pull that up.
I thought it was just like
Dude. Really good.
Like when I sent him my review, he said, "It's a good looking game." I was like,
But
thanks, Blood.
nothing about your review.
"Well, who cares? You know, it's that you're fishing for those blood compliments when you get them.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
gotta cherish that. You gotta frame it.
Good looking game. Well, that's not a compliment to you, Jones.
It is not.
man.
Maybe I showcased the best parts possibly.
Chase after that dude. Really good video. Kyle.
Yeah.
Chase after the dudes. Hold on, I'm so close to it. we exchange a lot on what the thumbnail should look like. Wow, Blood. We talked about this forever. Okay. The costume video is really fun, dude. Huh?
Dang.
Huh?
Dang.
So if you want to see this costume video that is really fun, dude, check out youtube.com/easyallies this Friday. You know what? I'm past my final word. I've said too much. Tomorrow is forever all ours.
What do you mean you let him out? Turned out to be a koala.